XL Primetime is next.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime. Prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.,
Why in the world am I sitting back and being quiet about this?
Matt Hayes,
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Mia O'Brien,
My nose just decided to start bleeding.
and Leon Searcy.
Now you're just talking tomfoolery.
Yeah.
How you like me now?
Oh, back on the big stage, Players Grill right here in Mandarin. You Mandarin Nooners, we'd love to see you today as we are hanging out at the second Players Grill location with another soon to come. You know where Miramar is, right there on Hendricks. And then here on San Jose Boulevard, 10140 San Jose Players Grill. And then soon to be Oakleaf opening up next week. So we say thanks to Phil and Megan for having us out here. And you can come on out and get ready for your watching football plans for your entire season if you want to plan on coming here. You got $9.99 wing special, 5 wings with a fountain drink or a domestic draft. You can definitely cash in on that today or come watch the Jags as they take on the Dolphins tomorrow. So we are ready to rock and roll. Now, this is week 0. We've got college football to look at. I held off the picks contest. I was challenged by Matt Hayes on that bad boy. But I am not starting the picks contest as long as I'm holding the crown.
Week 0 counts.
Wait a minute. It was words spoken on that trend.
I know.
I mean,
yeah. And look, I used
you
to
tried to cut him to the white meat, didn't you?
Yeah, I used to have to drop and throw at that point when you said that, you know.
Were you like afraid to start?
I was
picks
ready
after
to
you
rock
won?
and roll, baby.
Was I afraid to start the picks after I won?
I'm always ready.
I will not have Vandy and Hawaii as one of our 6-pack of picks. And,
why not?
You know, I told
Scared?
Coach Campo.
Because of their dilapidated stadium?
Well, not
that's
even
half
that.
built?
Not even that. The fact that thing is just barely being renovated. I think the first stadium was constructed in 1982.
I was going to say it's better than what the first one was.
What Joe was trying to say is that there are no layups in the pickups. You wanted layups.
Yeah.
No,
He
wants.
No, half the games were going to be layups.
I want
Come
the
on.
big games.
What the big games?
Yeah,
man.
and that way it'll be a week.
What big game you got this week?
Yeah.
It's not big games. They're tough picks.
Oh yeah, I'm going to watch them.
They're tough picks, is what I'm saying.
No,
I mean, I know they're going to be layups, but you're still gambling with the line.
FIU and La Tech, really?
All right, like I'm laying Vandy.
No, I understand they're bad games. All I'm saying is with the money line, it's different.
I'm laying Vandy plus 20.5, and I'm thinking about doing the same thing with Notre Dame against Navy.
How much is Notre Dame favored by?
I think it is 20 and a half. I need to take a look at it.
My thing is that did you not see all the tweets all week, Joe, about if you're actually caring about week 0 and it's not one of your teams, you're a sicko? Yes, we are sickos on this show, so we have to lean into the bit.
Absolutely sicko.
We admit it. We recognize it, and we do not need therapy for it. It's as simple as that.
I'm okay with it.
20.5, by the way, is the line.
So both of them are
on my bookie.
All right, look at Vandy. I think they're both 20.5 then.
Vandy, let's pull up old
I think
Vandy.
they're both 20.5. So
they're not even showing up on here.
Yeah.
Maybe they took it off the board. I'm just kidding.
You're going to give Hawaii 20.5 points against Vandy?
Vandy,
at Vandy.
Vandy's a 17.5 point favorite.
17.5.
Yes.
Okay. Why you think Hawaii can cover that?
No, I think it's Vandy. Are you kidding me?
Vandy gave up a lot of points this past year, and they have some decent players coming back. They were terrible in pass defense, but also, did you see the number? That was they put on Hawaii a season ago?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
What's worse, Vandy, Florida losing to Vandy, or Miami or Middle Tennessee?
I can tell you what's worse.
Which one?
I can tell you what. So there's this guy on Twitter.
He's gone.
He's gone.
He's not even listening to what Leon's saying.
Go ahead.
This guy on Twitter called Big Game Boomer. Okay. Yeah. He does all these lists.
Legend.
So he comes out with college football final preseason tiers. Okay.
Yeah.
It's got tier 1 CFPs.
These are just teams, not
Georgia,
coaches.
Michigan, Florida State, Penn State. Okay. Tier 2 CFP contenders: LSU, Clemson, K-State, Ohio State, Alabama. You know. You go all the way down to Tier 3, Tier 4, Tier 5. Lucky to make a bowl game. There's Vanderbilt. Tier 6, very bad. There's your Florida Gators.
Mm-hmm. And look, all they can do right now is prove people wrong. Wow. That's all they can do. This is the season of proving somebody wrong. This might be also the season of wait till next year if you're a Florida fan, but they now have at least been picked apart, made fun of, challenged, and Billy Napier's going to try and see what he can get out of them this year. But they're forgotten and lost right now. The only thing people know about Florida right now is Swamp Kings from the mid 2000s. That's all they know right now. They got to prove something.
That's everyone but Shane Matthews, who, if you listen to the 1010XL Gator Roundtable, Shane has been in those quarterback meetings. He has been a participant observing practice down in Gainesville, and he said on video, on podcast, on recording, which you can find on all the 1010XL channels, that Graham Mertz is the type of quarterback that Coach Spurrier would have loved.
He said he's impressed with him, and I love what Shane Matthews does because what he believes he says. He doesn't make anything up. But
so you're saying he's fun and gun?
I mean,
no, I think he actually.
I love Shaner too, but let's be honest. But he's also the color guy.
Oh, there's Gator in him. There's no doubt about it. So he's going to paint it with an orange and blue brush. But I'm just saying, like in other words, he was the one who cautioned me on Anthony Richardson. Okay, cautioned me on it. And so I when he says this, I'm like, okay, I am actually up and paying attention. So I talked to him this morning, and we'll probably have him on Monday or Tuesday. But you got to tell the story, Matt, with SEC Mike and what he's done with our Gators Roundtable. Which
our Gators Roundtable,
Safe Harbor Seafood, and you need to check it out.
So I retweeted it yesterday, and I asked Mike, and he retweeted it. And he's a heavy Vols content producer. He's on Twitter. He's SEC Mike. He does all SEC stuff, but it's very Vol oriented because his cousin Shane, who I never knew was his cousin.
In Rocky Top world, there's a lot of cousins.
I know there is.
Be factual
but
here.
Shane is this big dude, and I mean big dude, okay?
Again, that's also factual.
I know. My point is, I thought Shane was just kind of the comedy of the show, but he's not. First off, he's very knowledgeable. That's number one. Number two, he's actually Mike's cousin. So it's actually very funny when I found that out. Anyway, I tweeted to him. I said, hey, do what you got to do. He retweets it. So I texted you at what time? About 11:30, 11:35, and said there was 124,000 retweets. I mean views. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Views of the video. So we're now at 12:10, and now it's 140. So the Vol fans, when they heard what Shane said, and again, you can go listen to it. Shane said, we get Tennessee at home. Tennessee hasn't had much success in the swamp. I don't care how far Joe Milton can throw a football. I've seen him play. I think Tennessee takes a step back.
More importantly.
And there's a lot of unhappy Vols right now.
You have to read some of those Vols takes, Matt, because they are absolutely hilarious. Taylor Dahl and I spent most of this morning in the office reading through some of them.
First off, Tennessee with a keyboard, that's an invention up there on Rocky Top. But still.
They've never heard of that.
Yeah.
We had one. Where is it? It's something about a gecko. It's like, I can't wait to whoop those meth geckos in the swamp in a few weeks.
Yeah. And I know the son-in-law, he might step away from his ninth grade class and occasionally listen to us in the noon hour. He's probably getting a little infuriated with Pops and some of my my Rocky Top commentary. But there's no doubt in my mind that this is what you want if you're a Florida fan. You want to get fired up. One of them says, and this is the governor of I do love this. Territorially speaking, they haven't really left the 1800s. They're probably still watching 1883 as if it's a live show. They've got the governor of West Tennessee chiming in. I can't wait to dog walk the meth geckos in their house in a month.
Wow. I'm stealing meth geckos. That's a good one.
Here's another.
I like that, JJ. You might have to keep
someone should tell Shane Matthews there's a much larger sample size on Graham Mertz, and none of it is any good.
And that's not wrong.
No, it's
not wrong.
I mean, Joe Milton beat Clemson last year in the Orange Bowl. It's kind of hard to ignore that.
Yeah, and so there's just so much to get into with it. And so this is what college football is all about. This is what Florida fans should be looking forward to. Rocky Top should be looking forward to. Georgia, put your chest out there, hunker down, you hairy dog. And Alabama's like, wait a minute, we aren't poking our chest out. We got a chip on our shoulder. LSU and FSU, they're both saying whoever wins this is out of the gate hot. And so there's so much that we are going to have fun with this college football season. We hope that you all dig in on it. That's
and, of course, your first thing as we're walking into this wonderful establishment here, the Players Grill in San Jose, is – now he's going to fire up Joe Milton. Yeah. Now he's going to fire up the Vols. That's all you care about.
He will. He will. Don't think for a moment Josh Heupel will not use this as fuel for his football team. And Shane probably in the back of his mind knows it but doesn't care because that's the mentality. And, again, that was a crappy football team that Florida had last year. All right? Make no mistake about it. It was a crappy football team. But the one theme that Shane has shared with me, and we all basically agree, one thing Billy proved to a lot of people is that the best players on that team were either his recruits or his transfers.
Yeah.
If you think about it, by and large, Trevor Etienne was his recruit.
Yeah.
And he was a damn good player. Montrell, damn good player. Osiris, good, drafted very high, damn good player. Those and Pearsall coming in at least as a transfer.
Well, you know, I think the mistake that a lot of former players do, like Shane and myself, they imply on how this team is. The Florida Gator, we get caught up in what we used to do and how we played, and somehow that resurfaces. Smack talk. Because right now, Miami and Florida is in no position to be smack talking to anybody.
No position at all.
No, absolutely no position. And I get caught up, too. I got caught up last year in the hype of Mario and saying a bunch of stuff of what Miami was going to do, knowing that we were ill-equipped to back up my smack talk. Shane might be in the same situation. Shane played with some great Florida teams. And Shane is never going to lose that appeal or that desire or feeling of knowing what he was as a Gator.
Yeah.
And hopefully he's hoping that some of that can spill off on the Florida Gators. But right now we're in neither one of us is in a position.
Yeah, I think
Notice I haven't been talking to any Miami here.
I know, because there was a time when you
I'll be loose of tongue right now. But
now you've been, you've kind of beaten just a little bit.
I'm a little bit, yeah.
All right, so we're going to see where it goes. All right, so you guys can jump in on the Smack Talk, 641-1010. We'd love to hear from you on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We've got our YouTube channel. JJ, invite him to come to. All you got to do is go to YouTube and search 1010XL. You'll find us.
This is the Yahoo Pop-Off Chat line. Yahoo!
And we would really enjoy some Florida-Tennessee Smack Talk on the YouTube channel as well.
So we got it set up.
Get over there, folks.
We got it set up right here, so you can see us at Players Grill on the stage. Which ordinarily we're in the studio, but we got the iPad working. Spielberg is here, making sure that everything's good to go. But you can go to 1010XL on YouTube and you can interact there. We'd love to hear it. We're going to be doing our picks and all that coming up next week. We're going to have a bunch of fun with it. But you can come have fun with us today. We already have one of our dudes come up from the bar and do a little selfie video of him in front of us on stage. So that's what we want. We want our Mandarin Nooners to drop on by and say hello. A little $9.99 wing special with a fountain drink or a domestic draft. I'm going to recommend the domestic draft. You know that. So you can come on by, enjoy the rest of that menu, and then also make plans for this to be one of your haunts, one of your stops during the fall for watching all of your ball. They got Oakleaf opening up next week, and of course Miramar on Hendricks. So as we set up tomorrow, Leon, and it's been talked about a bunch. How much should you play? How much should you see the starters? Do they have to get in the end zone? What if they have to settle for a field goal? Do you bring them back out? What are you expecting, quarter-wise or play-wise or series-wise for the starters?
Listen, what I would like to see, first and foremost, I want to see tempo. I want to see this team in and out of the huddle, especially on offense or defensively. I want to see intensity. I want to see intensity on both sides of the ball, getting after the passes, stopping the run on defense, running the ball, being consistent on our play. I want to see consistency. I want to see efficiency. I want to see these guys offensively convert on third downs, defensively get them out on third downs, that kind of stuff. I want to see turnovers. Not offensively, but defensively. I want to see turnovers. I want to see them swarming after the ball. I want to see them getting after the offense. And offensively, I want to see us getting after the defense. I just want to see – and they've been doing that. For the most part, these last two preseason games, I've seen the complete football game, offense, defense, and special teams. Yeah. And I've noticed that one thing, we don't let up. Sometimes you see a clear disparity between the ones and the twos when it comes to the preseason. As far as the Jaguars go, the ones have played well, the twos have played well, the threes have played well, which means that the intensity going forward throughout the game kind of stays the same. And I like to see that, and that's coaching.
Yeah, and let's not forget, this team outgained Detroit 3-1.
Yep.
And so, to me, that is – what you're doing offensively, you're having success, and what you're doing defensively, you're having success. That was Teddy Bridgewater out there.
And another thing they did, too, and you got to remember, in week one, the Jaguars had a lot of penalties. As well as they played against the Cowboys, they had a lot of penalties. Only had 5 in the second game. So that had to be a point of emphasis by the coaching staff and say, hey, listen, I love the intensity. I love what you're doing. got to eliminate the penalties. They went from 12 penalties in the first
game?
It
was 15 total in 15. Dallas, like 13 taken, right?
And then against Detroit, I think it was 5.
Yeah.
It was that's a point of emphasis that the coaching staff is telling the players, hey, like the way you're playing, cut back on the penalties and mistakes.
I feel like the Colts and Eagles had 20 of those penalties combined last night between the two sides. Because yikes, was that a flag fest?
Oh my gosh! So let's just go to that right now, and let me set it up with this, along with your penalties. One guy last night had a perfect passer rating. Okay, unheard of type of stuff. A perfect passer rating, 13 of 15 completions. There was another guy that completed 45% of his passes. 45% of his passes. 6 of 17. Did you watch, Leon? Because I know you're the preseason man.
Well, I did not watch that.
You did not
game.
watch AR versus
I did not. I watched the
Eagles.
Steelers and Falcons. I watched the Steelers and Falcons game. Yeah, I was doing my. Listen, I should have been doing my scouting. I was doing my scouting of the Steelers. Looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially the first 2 series, and went straight down and scored touchdowns.
I came away
Kenny
with
Pickett
that
looked
one
pretty good.
very impressed.
Yes,
and I don't like to make
offense
too
and
much out of the preseason.
I know.
Now, remember when we did our predictions, I think I might have thrown a dub up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I remember I put a dub up there as well.
Okay.
It's going to be tough.
That looked pretty good.
Yeah,
that Pickens-Pickett combo is going to be something.
I know a lot of people don't like to say that there's carryover from how they played last year, but you got to remember last year when he played down the stretch, especially the last 2 games, those were comeback games that he played in. He played in 2 comeback games last year. Probably gave him a look going into this season. I'm not saying there was any carryover, but he's playing as well as I saw him play last year, the last 2 games when they came back and they beat the Raiders and they beat another team that came back and won. Can't remember who it was. But I saw him in and out the huddle. And I told you, it's always, when it comes to a quarterback, especially a young quarterback in the league, when you get in that huddle, I got to believe you, especially if I'm a veteran guy that's been here for a while and you're a young and up-and-coming quarterback. I got to believe that you could take us to – it's like Moses taking it to the promised land.
Yeah.
I got to believe that you're going to take us there. I got to believe that. And I think Kenny Pickett has got some believers around him. That offensive line is protecting him. They're running the ball. Those receivers, he's going through his progression. He's making the throws. So, man, Kenny Pickett looks pretty good. Now, I'm a walking exaggeration right now because it's the preseason. And when the regular season hit, we'll see if he plays with the same efficiency.
Are we going to gloss over 6 of 17? Is that what we're going to do right now?
I was trying to avoid that, but I know.
I'm not glossing over it. I'm the one who brought it up because I couldn't believe it.
I mean, 6 of 17.
Yeah. In a preseason game. And, by the way, one of the completions was a beauty. That's what you'll see on the highlight reel. We're talking about Anthony Richardson against the Eagles last night, 6 of 17, 45%, whatever that number works out to be. Not pretty. And
I don't think it's 40. I think it's much
and you
lower
have to
than
ask
that.
the very obvious question. Jim Irsay is the one who basically called on this. Okay, he said, "Hey Shane, I know it's your first head coaching gig, and I know we hired you to make the decision, but we drafted that cat 4th overall, and you're going to play him."
35% completion percentage.
Was it 35? Okay, look, I can't even do the math. That's some St. Joe math right there. I was thinking it was.
But he did have 5 carries for 38 yards.
Yeah. So 35%,
which is close to 8.
And that's where all the my God, what a highlight reel! He looks outstanding. If I heard one more time from Herb Street now, which I know Al's out to lunch, and I have that from inside sources too, by the way. But the reality is, just because he can run 15, 16 yards does not necessarily translate to an incredible performance. Now, I did watch 75% of the game, and by that I mean the first half, and then a little bit of Gardner in the second half. Anthony Richardson did make throws that, while certainly bullets flying and a little too hot to handle, more than once it hit his receivers in the hands. And so that is where I say, hey, similar to Trevor Lawrence once upon a time, ease up a little bit. Take some of the special sauce off it. Then what do we have?
And I'll admit that when I do see a good play from him, I'm like, oh. And I do think the RPO world, he definitely has a chance, but he will be running a ton this year. That's what I see. That's what I believe. And here's the other part of this. I don't know exactly when this was in the game time, but he basically decided to do the eagle fly, okay?
After 4 straight running plays by the running back,
after
not
making,
him.
After whatever, moving the chains, going down the field, and he wants to go with fly, eagle, fly. I'll take all y'all back to Leonard Fournette against, I think it might even been against against Pittsburgh. I'm trying to remember who it was. Anyway, Leonard Fournette in a preseason game, they asked him because he looked good, hey, what'd you think of that? He goes, no different than the SEC. It was preseason. You don't do fly, eagle, fly in preseason. I don't think so.
They'll pay for that later.
Yeah, I would think so.
Oh, they're going to chime that up. Trust me.
Oh.
A rookie?
Yeah.
Unproven rookie? Oh, okay. Yeah. That's chiming that up.
In a game that doesn't count?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, that one definitely struck me. All right, let me give you a saucy nug since we look forward to tomorrow night's game when it comes to your Jags. Then you can chime in on all the other preseason action that you saw with the text line 641-1010.
Saucy nugs.
The saucy nug is that this football team is on a 2-game win streak in the preseason, and they may close it out 3-0, okay? Over is the Baltimore Ravens streak of, 24 games in a row. So now Jacksonville may just be beginning their streak. But do you all realize or remember the last time they won more than one preseason game was pre-pandemic? Pre-pandemic.
I think it was before 2019. Wasn't it 2018?
Yeah, it was pre-pandemic.
Well, yeah. 2 years before the pandemic.
Yeah, so that's how far back we have
Primo
to
Bryant
go.
arriving in Jacksonville.
That's how far back we have to go to find them winning 2 preseason games. I'm not making a big deal out of it, but I definitely think it is worth pointing out because this football team, as you said, Leon, they play with intensity and depth now compared to whenever the ones left the field, it was a crapshoot after that, and someone was going to either score on them or not be able to stop or be able to stop them.
Yeah, that's coaching. That's coaching, though. I mean, because you see those guys, those 2s and 3s coming in there fighting for their life. They fight for their roster life, to be quite honest with you. And they know that a week from now, they got to get some more good film tomorrow. They got to get some good film because whether they're here with the Jaguars on the roster or the practice squad or not, they've got to provide good film from other teams that might possibly want to bring them on. So those 2s and 3s are going to get after it. Hopefully they play the same way they've been playing the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. All right, we got plenty to do. We would love for you to jump in with us. You can go to YouTube, search for us on 1010XL, hang out with us there. You can hang out with us right here at Players Grill in Mandarin, 10140 San Jose Boulevard. You Mandarin Nooners, come on by.
And before we hit our first break, we do have a special giveaway for the folks that are tuning on in, whether it's on YouTube or on terrestrial radio.
Yeah.
Ain't that right, JJ, back in JJville?
People, we have a championship match this weekend in Jacksonville. Yes, I said that, a championship. So I have a pair of tickets to the Jacksonville Axemen Rugby Championship game at UNF Saturday the 26th at 6:30, folks. So be caller number 4 right now, 641-1010. Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say they're playing against the Dead Pelicans, okay?
What?
So they're playing against the Santa Rosa Dead Pelicans Saturday night, going for their 5th national title. So I love the boys over there, Slover and company. So I'm glad you said it. They need to say Dead Pelicans to you, JJ, when they get the tickets.
I would love that. I'm definitely cheering for the Axemen, but I got to say that's one of the greatest names I've ever heard in my life.
It's XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Prime Time in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. 1010XL is your home for play-by-play of Bishop Kenny football.
This is Coach Krause of the Bishop Kenny Crusaders. We kick off the regular season on Friday night against First Coast. Catch all the action live on 92.5 FM.
Did you know the new 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid has an onboard system that charges the battery so you never have to plug it in? When you think Honda, you think quality, value, safety. Now think hybrid. Visit your local Honda dealer and experience the car of tomorrow today.
Mia here. Football is back, and so is winning season at MyBookie. Look, if you're anywhere near as fired up for this season as we are, you got to get a bet in on the action. NFL, college football, and a brand new cash-out system. MyBookie gives you options to bet and win all season long. First 2 legs of your parlay hit, cash out early and use the funds on another bet or let it ride for the chance at a bigger payday. Use early cash outs as a tool to stay in control of the action at MyBookie. To get started, go to mybookie.ag now and register for an account for free. When you're ready to make your first deposit, just use promo code 1010XL to grab a welcome bonus on the house. Maybe even place a futures bet on the Jags while you're there. Whoever you pick, sign up with that promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus and, for a limited time, a free chip to use in the MyBookie casino. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Brackish Vodka, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is the smoothest local vodka you can find. Made right here in Jacksonville, Florida. 100% from corn, Brackish Vodka is the local gluten-free choice. Brackish Vodka, for those that live life slightly salty. A proud partner of the Jaguars. The next time you're at Fresh Spot Lounge, make sure you tell the bartender you like it slightly salty with Brackish Vodka.
Are you still feeling the heat this summer? Looking to keep your cool? Look no further than Lloyd's Heating and Air. At Lloyd's Heating and Air, we're your go-to experts for all things HVAC. Whether you're building a new home, need a brand new AC installation, or just want to make sure your current system is running at peak performance, we've got you covered. Our skilled team specializes in new construction HVAC, making sure your home or business is comfortable from the moment you step inside. LloydsHeatingandAir.com. CMC 1249834.
Bold City football is back. Get the latest on your favorite players with 1010XL's training camp coverage. Brought to you by Roland Leash Plumbing and Kingfish Pest Control.
Let's get the work done.
Nobody covers camp like 1010XL.
Perfect Rag Billiards in Murray Hill is your spot to be for all your football needs. Full liquor bar, 8 pool tables, darts, and shuffleboard. Weekend specials include happy hour all day Friday to $3 seltzer Saturdays, along with wing and pitcher specials on Sunday. Watching the Jag game, $19 domestic buckets on game day. There isn't a better place to play pool, have a beer, and just kick back. Perfect Rack Billiards on Edgewood and Murray Hill. The best place in Jacks to watch sports.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. And let me get this right, Greg. Cycles is selling boats?
We are carrying the Coach Pontoon boats, which comes with the legendary Honda engines, and these things are first class.
So Honda outboard engines, if you have one, this is where you can go and get it repaired. And then you also have these pontoon boats.
In stock, ready to have some fun on the water, and they are big fun.
So it's not just Cycles of Jacksonville. They are an authorized boat dealer. Come check out the coolest new concept in pontoons. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
You probably remember your first fender bender, but very few can tell the story of their crash with a semi-truck. That's because an 18-wheeler weighs over 20 times more than the average car. You might see it coming, but you probably won't remember much after impact. You need experience on your side. Our forensic crash reconstruction team and truck accident specialists know how to recover black box data and build a case that hits back hard. Your consultation is free. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Visionaries, builders, and doers. Are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Introducing the Woody's Barbecue Friday Night Family Feast for Two. Friday night at your neighborhood Woody's. Now, for a limited time, it's only $29.99, a $7 savings. Family-sized portions of barbecue pork, chicken, and spare ribs with barbecue beans, coleslaw, french fries, fried corn on the cob, and garlic toast. Just $29.99. And only on Friday nights at Woody's.
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do.
Let's eat.
More than qualified to handle your roof. Call J&M and we'll show you the proof. Check with our customers and they all say only one way to go, the J&M way.
Big news at J&M Roofing. We've teamed up with Solcium Solar to offer solar energy systems in addition to the best roofing products in the industry. 904-337-0509. J&M Roofing, under the umbrella.
License number CCC 1331951.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars will play host to the Miami Dolphins tomorrow night for the first time since August of 2019. With a victory tomorrow night, the Jaguars can finish off their first unbeaten preseason since 1997. If you're going to the game tomorrow night, please be aware that mobile parking will be implemented for the first time. Fans are strongly encouraged to plan ahead and arrive early. Or you can save your gas and avoid those parking hassles of game day by taking the JTA Game Day Express. Let them do the driving when the Jaguars take on the Miami Dolphins. With 5 convenient locations and passes starting at just $10 on the MyJTA app. To learn more, visit jtafla.com. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a big hair, heavy metal Friday on XL Primetime.
Already seen a couple of you guys on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures submitting your song requests for DJ JJ, so keep those coming, 641-1010. Before we say hello to a very special guest of whom myself, Joe C., and Matt Hayes have no idea.
We're clueless.
Who Leon Searcy is bringing on the air with us. All we know is that it's a former Miami Hurricane, which we'll get to that in just a second. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't worry, all is well.
All right, listen, our lovely waitress, she just came barreling around to get the pickle chips to Leon.
It's all
She just
good.
wanted to make sure that she got
We're
the pickle chips.
We're gonna flag down Graham Marsh, and
yeah,
we're going to have Graham Marsh adjust that video camera so that we make sure that you guys on YouTube are also taken care of.
And put some blockades around it, Marsh.
Yeah,
Come on, pay
all
attention.
good.
He's talking to Phil, the owner, just trying to make sure that everything's right. So there you go.
Which we absolutely love, Phil, and we are so excited that they are also going to be having an Oakleaf location, a Players Grill, opening very, very soon, and by very soon, next week.
That's what he's saying, which is pretty cool. They'll get the permits. They'll have the lights on. It's in the Oakleaf Plantation. It's right next to Publix, and they will have a lot of college football fans, a lot of families, a lot of NFL fans coming in there and enjoying it. That's for sure.
So we want to thank Phil. We want to thank the whole crew of Players Grill. Again, we are at the San Jose location, which is their second location. It's in Mandarin. They will have the Jags playing on the big screens, of which there are plentiful here tomorrow night. Today, $9.99 wing special, 5 wings, fountain drink or a draft domestic beer included. So make sure you stop on by today. And if you can't make it out today to say hi to XL Primetime, make sure that you come out tomorrow for the Jags game or you check out their Oakleaf location. Also, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, by the way, we are rolling out so many new things right now because this afternoon, Frangie on the FM, Baloo on the AM, Gibby with our high school show. Then we've got play-by-play on both of our channels, AM and FM. This is the kickoff, the big kickoff to the season. And then the Friday Night Scoreboard show with Hacker and Gibby. All sorts of things happening.
Yep, Friday Night Lights on the air. We also, on our social channels, will be, and our video channels for that matter, are debuting our 1010XL Game of the Week. I also have some of you who are angrily texting in on the text line, mad that it's Clay Fleming Island, it's not Mandarin Fletcher. Folks, long season ahead, and the beautiful part is that starting next week, our 1010XL Game of the Week, which is when we're going to send ET, and he is giving you video, live, social media coverage from your game, you get to vote on the Game of the Week starting next week. So if you're upset, just make sure you hit Facebook and Twitter because guess what? We're going to have the open vote.
Yeah, and that's two big names in Clay County. You look at two big names in the SJC with Bartram and Ponte Vedra, and then you do have two bigs in Fletcher and Matt. There are a lot of good games out there. But speaking of good games, this one was, Leon, set this up, young man.
Well, I mean, y'all did it, all right? First of all, my colleagues, who I love so dearly, thought that I was what's the word for embellishing on what happened in 1990. What I was trying to do is give Florida Gator fans some worthwhile advice in traveling to Utah because I know in 1990 we traveled there and played BYU and we came away with L. It's not the fact that we lost the game, but all the stuff before the game that led up to the loss.
All right,
so I had to go and get a former teammate of mine that played with me, Calvin Harris. That's who he is, Calvin Harris. He's a 3-time national champion with the University of Miami, played on the offensive line. and he's going to be my insight guy. As far as anybody, as far as he's got Mario Cristobal on speed dial. Anything Miami Hurricane related, we need to call him, and he's got the buzz.
All right, so let's say hello to Calvin right now.
Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
Calvin Harris is our welcome guest here on XL Primetime. Shall I call you by your nickname or just call you Calvin? Because your nickname in college was Sweets.
Hey, I'll leave it up to you, Leon.
Well, Calvin, how you doing, Calvin?
I'm doing good. Hey, I want to start out by saying one thing to get you guys in trouble. Two things. That Gator documentary is trash. It's a bootleg. And the Gators are trash and bootleg.
Oh,
now
yeah, you did it, Calvin.
Spoken like a true Cane.
Greatest guest ever.
Listen, there's only one documentary, or excuse me, two documentaries that count. The bootleg Notre Dame documentary don't count, and this is even worse than the bootleg Notre Dame documentary. I mean, so we can continue from that point on.
Okay, well, Calvin, this is why I brought you on the show. I brought you on the show because you were a teammate of mine. We both came in 1987. And we played in the game in 1990 where we were preseason number 1 against BYU. So I told my esteemed colleagues all the stuff that happened before the game. The one thing that they could not fathom is the bus being trapped.
Delayed, trapped, whatever you want to call it.
Broken down, and we were at least a quarter of a mile or half a mile or a mile away from the stadium. And we got off the bus and had to take some of my equipment and walk to the stadium. Could you confirm that for me?
Well, first of all, we're going to start with the night before when we got there. They were so nice to us. I mean, they were so nice to us. They fed us good. The people were polite. So, we go to pregame, we eat pregame, we do our little, ritual. We get on the bus. Everything's going good. Now, mind you, it's traffic. And then I don't know exactly how far out we were, but we were probably at, maybe a half mile to 800 yards, a half mile to 400 yards out. And then we just stopped, and we were there like maybe 15, 20 minutes. And so Coach Erickson is like, well, what's going on? And the guy just starts laughing and says, yeah, this happens all the time to the away team. And says, well, I guess Erickson asked, well, how long is it going to take before, we get to the stadium? Because, we're on a time frame. And he says, I don't know. We could be here a while. So Erickson waits like maybe 5 more minutes, and he just stopped. He says, hey, everybody just get off the bus, take your stuff. And we literally got off the bus and walked. And that's when the niceness got bad, because the night before, like I said, they treated us nice. But on our way walking to the stadium, we got insulted. They called us all kinds of names. A lot of them I can't say on radio.
The Mormons? I didn't even know Mormons knew curse words.
The Mormons did that, Calvin? Really?
What? I mean, I could have swore we were in southern Georgia. I mean, it was. And so we get into the stadium, and then, hey, Leon, if I'm not mistaken, was the heat off? I mean, it was something like either the showers were cold or something. It was something they did. It just, the locker room wasn't right. Yeah. So then we come out for pregame, and, you're standing in the tunnel, and then they started calling us those names again. I mean,
what about the food poisoning?
Huh? I think somebody did get sick, yeah. It was because the food, like I said, they were nice to us the night before, and, yeah, I think a couple people got sick. But and then what was even crazier, the day before, we go to the stadium, and we always walk around, and we always play these little flag football games. And nobody, and, I look back on it now, Leon, Coach Erickson should have known to tell us about the altitude. So we get out there, and we're running around playing our little flag football game, and everybody's like, man, I can't breathe. Because that was the first time we had been in that type of altitude.
The other part of this, Kelvin, that Leon shared with us yesterday, and again, we're speaking with former Miami Hurricane Kelvin Harris, in case you missed it, to debunk the myth that is actually reality, that Leon and the Miami Hurricanes had to walk to the stadium against BYU once upon a time in the 90s. Kelvin, can you confirm you then had to carry the equipment as you walked a mile plus from the broken-down bus to the stadium?
I don't know if you know what?
A little embellishment, Lee. A little bit.
No. I'm not clear on that or not. I know. Like usually everybody comes and they'll have their own little special stuff that they bring with them to the game, like a bag or so. But I'm not. You know what? We may have had to, because now that I think about it, the equipment managers weren't on the bus with us. I can't confirm or deny that. That part's still cloudy because remember this
we'll let it pass because we trust.
Well, listen. If you had played in the game, then maybe you would have known.
That was a shot across the bow from the left side.
Well, hey man,
listen.
I just want to know which one of you guys writes his cue cards for him, because he's illiterate.
Yeah, see, he just stole my joke before he came on the air. I told him, I say, just for the first time on the radio, make sure you write down your cue cards so you can speak. So he just.
I mean, I'm impressed that he's using full sentences. I mean, you guys did a good job.
Here's a man who's still 30 credits away from graduating. He's talking about that.
All right, now, Kelvin, real quick, give us a sense of what you think this year can be for the U, because last year there was a boatload of enthusiasm, and obviously it didn't happen the way Mario wanted.
Well, I would tell you like this. I talked to Mario when he first got there and when he was making his coaching decisions, and last year was not in sync. Like, he had the offensive coordinator, the person he wanted, change his mind, and then the second choice changed his. Well, no, let me take it back. The second choice wife told him she wasn't moving, and no. So and ironically, she must have known, because he ends up getting a head coaching job in South Florida this year. So I guess it worked out for it. But anyway, he was forced to take a offensive and defensive coordinator that probably weren't his first, second, or third choice. And so last year, the offensive coordinator I had known about from when he was at Alabama. No one liked him at Alabama. He's been, he had problems at Michigan with Harbaugh, and no one, when I say no one, the coaching staff or players liked him last year. So now he goes out and gets two guys that, the guy that's our offensive coordinator, his style fits what we have, and the defensive coordinator, his style fits what we have. The players like both coaches, the players like each other, and the kids who didn't believe in Mario, well, he just got rid of them. So now it's more harmonious. Now, the problem is our fan base is so jaded from the last 15 years that no one is the optimism isn't as high as it should be, because people have seen us look on paper like we're going to be that team, and then we fizzle out. So they're going to have to go out and win some games. Matter of fact, I do a podcast about a football program called The U, and I had this guy, Larry Bluestein, who is the GOAT of high school football. And we got into talking about UM, and he said, well, I don't know. They got to show me they got to beat Miami of Ohio. And I was like, what? They got 19 guys coming back. I'm like, has it come down to this? Well, people don't even believe we can beat Miami of Ohio? Really? So, I guess it's going to have to be a one game at a time. And I told a couple of the kids, I said, you're going to have to go 1-0 15 times. So every week you just got to take it as it's the only game that you're going to play the whole year and put everything into it. But looking at our schedule, realistically, I got us 9-3, 10-2.
9-3, 10-2.
You got to love that Kelvin stitched realistically and 10-2 in the same sentence. You got to love that.
Well, no, I'll say this. Look, I realistically can't say that we're going to beat Clemson because we haven't beaten them in years. So that's one loss. And I can't even believe I'm going to say this. This hurts. On paper, Florida State is supposed to be the favorite in the ACC. So if I come off and say, well, we're going to beat Florida State after they dragged us last year at home and we played them in Tallahassee, then I lose credibility. So those two games, yeah, I got to put down as a loss. Do I believe we can beat both of those teams? Yes. Listen, I'm going to say this right now. I told this to Leon when he called me earlier. We have a guy right now that plays right tackle for us. Remember this name, Francis Mauigoa. He is a freak. 6'5", 340, 18% body fat. Matter of fact, he made Bruce Feldman's freak list. Our offensive line is better, and it might be the best in the ACC. Our defensive line, we got 4 pass rushers. You win the game in the trenches, and we have superior talent in the trenches. Our quarterback's going to be healthy. He's going to be able to throw the ball. He's got time. We can beat anybody. And we have and I told Leon this, we have the new Alonzo Highsmith. We got a freshman kid, remember his name, Mark Fletcher. He stays healthy, he's going to be the difference maker. Now, until they do it, it's just potential. And you know what potential is? That means you ain't done nothing yet. So we got to go out, and we got to do it every week. We got to prove to you and everybody else that the U is back. Now, I'm going to say this. When we do what I'm saying, we're going to be unbearable because I'm going to be the first one to be talking noise.
Hey, man, listen, I've been able to talk smack for at least 15, 20 years, bro.
It's been tough. Listen, Corey Simon, who played for the Philadelphia Eagles, he is tormenting me right now. I mean, I'm getting it from these FSU guys. Yeah, I'm getting it from these Seminoles, and I got to just sit on my hands because, you know, we went out and we laid an egg last year, and you know, and Mario said something to me that I thought was interesting. He said he was at Oregon and he just couldn't take it anymore. And mind you, he left $40 million on the table to come back to UM. Now, mind you, he's making $8 million a year, so you do the numbers. You know what I'm saying. He left $40 million on the table to come back to right the ship because it's got to be now or never.
Yeah. Well, Calvin, I appreciate you coming on the show, man, and I appreciate your insight because you're a walking exaggeration, which I told my colleagues. Because anytime Miami, every year before the season starts, every time on social media, they ask him what Miami's going to be. He says 12-0, 12-0, 12.
Well, hold on.
For the last 5 years,
you
ain't say this year. This year, you said 10-2. Okay, because I had Miami at 9-3 or 10-2. So I appreciate the insight. And hopefully we'll bring you back on anything relative to Miami Hurricanes. I know you've got your thumb on the heartbeat of the Hurricanes, and you got Mario Cristobal on speed dial. So thank you for coming in and confirming my story.
Yeah. Leon ain't gonna. Oh, by the way, R.I.P. again to the Gators.
I just saw on Twitter, by the way, which I'm pretty sure is yours, Calvin, that you have the Gators going 4-8, and then officially he tweeted this out August 2nd, Miami 10-2.
Nice.
Yes.
Hey, Calvin.
All right.
Hey, I'll see you at the game, bro.
Yeah. All right, thanks, guys.
All right, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, so he's loving it. He's believing it. And look, the story that he does tell, which is a classic one about the wife of the second potential hire did not want to come down to Miami, is that if Mario gets the guys that he wants. Now, he did say goodbye to a guy that Nick quickly rehired for the third time, so losing that defensive coordinator definitely is meaningful. But both sides of the ball, if he's got the right guys, then obviously they got a chance.
Who is that guy he was referring to, Matt? I looked him up. The Russian guy? Who's
that's
the USF
the five.
head
That's
coach
the five.
now?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the offensive tackle.
No.
I don't know who he was referring to. I don't know.
Yeah, South Florida head football coach.
Oh, it was
the
what's his
current
name?
one or the former one?
Alex
Scholes.
Scholes. Yeah.
Who was at Tennessee, JJ?
He was Tennessee's offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And then he was at Iowa State.
And that's the
before.
one whose wife wouldn't let him come to Miami.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah. She's probably a little worried.
Exactly.
He was at UCF with Heupel too.
Yeah, that's true. That's good stock right there. If you come out of the UC, hey, listen, if Miami's hiring from the UCF tree, that works.
Yeah.
That works. That's not a bad thing. All
From
right,
one national title winner to another.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You're putting a banner up in no time. But real simple, Leon. That offensive line that he talked about's got to be good.
Yeah.
Tyler Van Dyke's got to come back as advertised.
Yeah, I mean, Miami. But listen, traditionally Miami has been Miami when they build from the inside out. Offensive line, defensive line, getting after the passer, stopping the run, that kind of stuff. And then you have a solid quarterback, good running game, a couple of playmakers at the wide receiver position. So Mario, I mean, listen, he knows what it takes to build Miami up until because he played in it, he lived in it. So now he's gotten his guys, now he's gotten his coaching staff, now he's building it from the inside out. Now you got to produce. You got to win games.
Can I ask you this, Leon? Does an offensive coordinator really change the trajectory of Tyler Van Dyke?
Well, I mean, you could just look from the last 2 years he played. I mean, when Laddish was here, when Laddish, the offensive coordinator, who's now at SMU right now, he had his most productive year that year. I mean, he throwing touchdowns, then interceptions. And then when you had, Gaddis from last year.
Gaddis is also not a quarterback's coach. Last year was a quarterback's coach and the OC. Now you've got another guy in Shannon Dawson who's a quarterback's coach and an OC.
There you go.
So I think that's going to help. When you mix that whole – you got your OC is the offensive line coach, or the quarterback's got to be the OC. The quarterback's coach got to be the OC. because those two go hand in hand. Sometimes there's a lot of problems in the way they decipher things when it's not that way.
Yeah.
All right, one of the guys that we were looking at earlier put out the coaching or the college football coaches tiers. Where would Mario rank? Not really sure. He did put Georgia and Alabama in the top rung, the best, and then went with Brian Kelly, Dabo, Day from Ohio State, Harbaugh from Michigan, and he included Wisconsin, which I do think is kind of interesting that he was able to. I'm looking at Matt right now, and you know what? I like the fact that Luke Fickell, when people look at him, they think he is a star on the rise because he's detail-oriented, all that kind of stuff. But there's no way, even though he did have a team make it to the playoff, would you put him in the second tier, Luke Fickell, now?
Yeah, I would.
I forgot until Matt said it yesterday that Luke Fickell was the interim head coach at Ohio State once upon a time. I completely forgot about that.
And that was that 6th and 6 club when they were setting out to hire
He's
Herb.
the only guy to have a Group of 5 school get to either the BCS or the playoff.
That does count. Honestly, that is a distinction.
And he was like, I think 38-6 or something there. Cincinnati, something ridiculous.
Yeah, and so you got a bunch of other ones that are in there. You know, you got Heupel, Sonny Dykes, James Franklin, Dan Lanning. I think it's kind of interesting that he's got him that high up. But anyway, he's got a handful of other ones, and then you got to go for a while. He's got Mike Norvell in tier 4, which is great. The one before that with Heupel and then was borderline elite, and then he's got a few other ones. But you really got to get down the line before you find a University of Miami logo.
Actually, neither one of them are in there.
No, or a Gator logo. Yeah. They're not there.
They go all the way down to 6 tiers, which is unproven, and neither one of them are in there.
Yeah. So
Mario won 2 Pac-12 championships,
which is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Mario. I would put Mario in easily in the top 30.
But you want to know why his rep got dented last year? There's no getting away from that.
Yeah. Well, how did he start at Oregon? I mean, what was his starting record at Oregon when his first year?
They were good his first year.
They were good the first year.
They were good his first year. Then they won back-to-backs.
Yeah, because he turned Helfrich's club around.
Yeah.
Because they got walloped 2 years before he got the job.
He followed Willie after Willie had it. Willie was there for a year.
Yeah, but I'm saying Helfrich's club because Willie was only there for
1 year.
One season he was
gone.
A
cup of coffee.
Yeah, and then basically he was able to step in and basically restore order because, like you said, they went to the Rose Bowl. They won a couple of Pac-12s.
They won 2 Pac-12 championships, yeah.
They did lose to Utah in that one big game before he left, and that's another guy that's up there. Kyle Whittingham is in that borderline elite category, which he probably deserves, as much of that as well. All right, now, speaking of elite, this guy over here to our right is elite, and so the chief, Spielberg, has brought you something special from Players Grill.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you
this
got
is
to make
very
room over
important.
There. All right, so
if we're filming this and we got the live stream going, what exactly is this?
You know what that is, Leon?
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, it's lemon pepper.
Oh, it's lemon.
It's not even on the menu. They made it for you.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
My specially made lemon pepper.
And you didn't even need to taste them. You
just
looked at them and
here's the thing. I've slimmed down a little bit.
Oh, that's lemon pepper.
And y'all keep filming me eating. That's a concern to me. All right. I'm a delicate eater.
It's lemon pepper and it's a Friday. This is allowed to happen.
Okay.
The diet won't be mad at you, Leon. The official taste test, though. Here we go. Again, specifically made for Leon Searcy. Players Grill, lemon pepper wings.
Well, that's some good stuff right there.
Okay. All right, you enjoy while we head to the top of the hour. We will keep it going. But Players Grill is where we are. You got that $9.99 wing special, fountain drink, or a domestic draft. You can enjoy either one of them with those wings. And then, of course, that could be one of your great menu items when you come here and enjoy any of the ball games on the big screens. Players Grill here, Players Grill Miramar on Hendricks, and then the brand new one will be opening very, very soon out at Oak Leaf. But definitely check out Players Grill where the neighborhood meets. We will get into the 1 o'clock hour and keep it rolling. College football, some NFL storylines, including your Jaguars tomorrow night.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. Dan Hicken.
I've seen your type before. Flashy, making the scene.
Jeff Prosser.
He's confident, witty, dynamic.
They are the Drill.
And I think that they're bright and sensitive, so I have no doubts whatsoever about their intelligence.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase
and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamFindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Introducing an exciting update from Rooter. They are thrilled to expand on their already long line of home and business services with the launch of Duck Air Conditioning. As a licensed mechanical contractor, the skilled Duck Air Conditioning team is equipped to handle any HVAC and refrigeration project you can throw at them. Folks, it is hot outside, and there is no reason that you should be hot inside. Contact Duck Air Conditioning today at 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckac.com. Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
This month, the Key Buick GMC receives special financing on GMC's rates as low as 0.9% for 36 months or 2.9% for 60 months and 4.9% for 72 months. Right now, save up to $10,000 on select new GMCs and no payments for 90 days. As always, a Key Buick GMC, whenever you buy a new vehicle, it always comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. We are professional grade. Key Buick GMC, corner of South Side and Gate.
It's storm season, and JEA is committed to keeping you informed. In the event of a storm, we'll text and email you about the status of your services. We use Facebook and Twitter to post real-time updates. Our live outage map on JEA.com lets you track restoration progress. And as crews work to restore services, our storm outreach team will be in local neighborhoods to answer your questions. Because as your community-owned utility, JEA is here to keep you safe and connected. Your community, your utility.
When you hear that phone ring on 1010XL, hello, we're bringing you another great guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
Where's the phone? Over there.
Listen for great phone interviews all day on the All-Pro Roofing phone line on 1010XL, the flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach, WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Have you recently inherited money? I'm Patrick Hart, certified financial planner professional at Concierge Capital Management. Make the most of your inheritance by taking charge of your financial future. At Concierge Capital, we'll work with you to create a tailored plan that is designed to keep your inheritance in your family. So plan with your heart. Trust Concierge Capital. Offices in Jacksonville and Boca Raton.
Registered representative. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Inc., a broker-dealer. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisor representative. Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Inc., a registered investment advisor. Concierge Capital Management, LLC, and Cambridge are not affiliated.
Tailgaters Parking is ready for football. Tailgaters proudly offers game day parking. Arrive 4 hours before kickoff and enjoy indoor restrooms, Growler's full-service bar and grill, and easy access in and out. Visit tailgatorsparking.com.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years. Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles, from complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
This wasn't how Patrick pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of his severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, pretty much doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was progress to where I am now. I've gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner with honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Keeping your body healthy and active leads to a more vibrant life. A great place to do that is the First Coast YMCA. The Y is equipped with state-of-the-art cardio and strength equipment, plus group exercise studios where trainers host activities like yoga, Zumba, and cycling sessions. The full-court basketball gym and indoor 5-lane swimming pool are open year-round. The Kids Zone can keep an eye on your kids while you work on that dad bod. And it's all available with your family membership. Learn more at fcymca.org.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Florida fans, check out the Gator Roundtable presented by Safe Harbor Seafood with Dan Hicken, Steve Spurrier, Chris Doring, and Shane Matthews. What does Coach Spurrier think of the 2023 Florida Gators?
Yeah, I'm optimistic we're going to be better. I think Shane said 8 wins. I'm sort of saying 7, and win a bowl game would be a heck of a year. And that's the schedule is tough.
This 2023 Gators season preview is available on YouTube and wherever you find podcasts. Billy Napier and the Gators kick off this Thursday at number 14 Utah. You can catch the Florida broadcast right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. It's right now 90 degrees at 1 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a Big Hair Heavy Metal Friday on XL Primetime.
Crank it, crank it, crank it. You want to get a little big hair going? You can hit JJ, the DJ, up at 641-1010 and throw out your big hair heavy metal. Like we said, any rock and roll goes. Just make it good rock and roll, okay? We're not Yacht Rock Radio. Make it good rock, and definitely let him know. Thanks to Cycles of Jacksonville. You know, I mentioned Yacht Rock. They've got their brand new pontoon boats by Coach, and as Greg says over at Cycles, this ain't your daddy's pontoon, so you can play plenty of good rock. Make sure you check them out over there on Atlantic near Regency. But bring your big hair, heavy metal suggestions, any rock and roll. We'd love to hear it. We are hanging out at Players Grill, your Mandarin Nooners. We love seeing you. Come on by. You can take advantage of that $9.99 wing special with a drink or a domestic draft. You can get anything else off the menu. Specially made lemon pepper wings for Big Sirs today. And you can order anything else, like those fried pickles.
Listen, them lemon pepper off the chain, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
they were good.
I don't just say stuff like that, man.
Right.
You know, I'm not saying it just because I'm in the restaurant right now. I'm saying the lemon pepper off the chain.
Yeah, that's
Dang,
good. That is
and
good.
they're not even on the menu.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10.
11.
Wow. Okay. I think the chef likes that. I think the chef
11,
likes hearing that.
Maybe they'll put it on the menu. Maybe
Sure.
they'll make it the Leon special.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm just hoping they have it at the Oakleaf location when we pay them a visit in September.
Yeah, I say, the
Spielberg's
special.
got to go tell the chef that, man.
Yeah.
You got to go tell the chef that.
Yeah, give him some love. Give him some love. All right, so we've been loving on college football in the first hour. We will definitely stay on that topic and then get to NFL action as well. But, you got your last exhibition game. What do you want to see tomorrow night? You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010 or hit us on the 1010XL YouTube channel because, I feel like we not like we found Jeremiah Ledbetter last week, but he found himself on the football field last week. He was a presence. He was a dominating force. They had to deal with him, that Detroit offensive line, and I'm wondering who that next guy might be tomorrow night that might be able to step up and make that type of –
you're looking for, like, the guys – off the radar?
Yeah, off the radar. In other words,
I'm watching.
This is a make your roster
I get
guy
it.
I'm talking
I get
about.
it, but I'm watching the first quarter and a half, however long the starters play. I'm watching third down.
Mm-hmm.
Third down on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Can you get off the field? Can you get pressure and get off the field, whether that's getting pressure or making plays in the secondary? Can you get off the field? In the offense, can you extend drives?
Mm-hmm.
And we saw it last year, the last 6-7 games of the last season. The offense was fantastic on third down. The defense also was much better.
Right.
But that's, to me, that's where games are won and lost on third down. We talk all the time about turnovers and everything. It ends up being third down.
Mm-hmm.
Can you get them? Can you get off the field on defense?
I would say, too, another area that perhaps during the preseason last year we were so troubled by, and then it came back to haunt the Jaguars throughout the season, and we really have kind of taken it for granted so far during training camp, is the red zone issues.
Mm-hmm.
I look back at those practices at the Episcopal school fields.
Yeah.
I mean, how often was it like a 50% efficiency for the offense to actually win in red zone drills against the defense, which maybe that was credit to the defense we said at the time. Maybe that's some issues at play with learning a new system.
I just think it was like you're saying, the last part of it, everybody coming together, and it took a little bit of time.
There have been zero issues during red zone drills, and I've been at almost every training camp practice up to this last week when they've been practicing during our show. And that, for me, is what will be curious to see how it translates. Does it look that easy when they step onto an actual game field? Because saw in the first team's limited outing against the Cowboys, they go to fourth down, they go for it because it's the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor had no fear in his eyes, Leon. That group, and granted, again, they're going against the second-team defense for the Dallas Cowboys, but it was like, yeah, no problem. We're within, 10, 15 yards? Yeah, no problem, no issues. We'll run our offense.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been the case this time last year.
Yeah. The thing I'm going to be interested to watch this upcoming Saturday, which they've been doing a pretty good job, is everything's been said about the pass rush, especially outside, the lack of productivity on the inside. But I'm going to tell you what the Jaguars have been doing interiorly. They've been getting pressure interiorly inside. Ledbeller's got 2 sacks. They've been bringing dog blitzes here. They've been bringing safety blitzes off the corner with Cisco down in the box, bringing him off the corner. Yeah. So I'm very interested to see how Carl was going to compensate for the fact of the lack of productivity from the outside ends and how he's dog blitzing. He's doing a lot more pressure interiorly with Ledbetter getting pressure, 3 technique getting better, them running stunts, they're dogging linebackers, they're bringing safeties.
See, that goes to that
kind of stuff
that I've been saying, that I believe is that you need better pass rush numbers, but he can scheme guys up.
Yeah. As much as I love the way that he's been scheming the last couple of games in the preseason, you still need guys. I mean, you shouldn't have to always dog blitz, but if you got guys who can go get it, then you don't compensate your pass coverage by bringing in linebackers and safeties and stuff like that, because you're getting home with just the 4 guys you have pass rush, or maybe the 5 guys, or however they would decide to do it.
Now, this will not be shown tomorrow night, but I firmly believe this, and I will stand on this. This football team will play with the lead more often this year. When you take a look at the number of minutes that they played with or without the lead last year, it will be drastically different this year. They will play with the lead, and that will create success. You want to talk about manufacturing success on the defensive side? Yeah. That will create success.
Well, that's where your sacks come from. I mean, if you're going into the game in the first quarter or the first half and you're up 14 points, 17 points, 10 points, whatever, I mean, the defense is inspired because now – they can just tee off because they know that the offensive side of the ball is having to play catch-up. And the vast majority of the time, they're going to spend most of their time trying to pass the ball. So now the defense can get after it. So, yeah, we're up by 14, 17 points in first halves or quarters or whatever it may be, in second halves or whatever. It's going to be inspired football by our defense. It's probably getting after the quarterback.
Yeah, that I'm not going to go way out and go, this is going to double the sack total, but they had 35 last year. They ought to be able to improve that by a third. I don't think that's outrageous. Okay, and so you can easily. I'm going to put it in that 45 to 50 neighborhood. I don't think that's crazy to say, because if you add a dozen to it, you're going to be around 47, which is what I think they can do.
Yeah. I will put it at 55.
Okay, 50. If you go 55, that was second, by the way. That was second in the league last year.
I'm going to go with 55.
Are we talking to Kelvin Harris or Leon Searcy?
I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they do it. Listen, I don't know how they're going to do it. That number just came in my head. It just came in my head. I don't know. I don't know if it was from another dimension.
I think Kelvin is channeling inside Leon as the Jaguar.
It's from another dimension. I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
All right, but think about this, Matt. Think about this. Honestly, the two teams that led the National Football League in sacks last year were the two teams in the Super Bowl. There's a reason why, because they played with the lead. And Philly was aggressive. There's no question about it. 70 sacks for them, 55 for the Kansas City Chiefs. 15 alone for Chris Jones interiorly. And so playing with the lead is a massive aid to the defensive side of the football. And that's why I do think, Coach Campbell will be in here in about an hour's time, and he and I are going to wear our, 9+ shirts for Trayvon Walker, because this offense will help this defense.
Well, listen, I was on the Pittsburgh Steelers team back in the day where they runs the same kind of defense that Caldwell runs, runs a 3-4 variation, bear defense or whatever. And we did a lot of stunts, dog blitzing or whatever. And, we did have Kevin Lloyd and Greg Lloyd as our defense ends. But I remember just one particular year, the Blitzburg, Kevin Green had 14, Greg Lloyd had 13, LaVon Kirkland had 8, Chad Brown had 9. So the distribution of sacks, Cornell Lake had 5. It was just craziness. They were bringing safeties and corners and all that kind of stuff. So Caldwell, he doesn't have Lloyd at Green, but if to compensate for the lack of productivity on the outside, there's going to be a lot of dog stunts going to be played.
So you said one at 14, one at 13, one at 9, one at 8.
Yeah.
All 4 of those guys are more than what any one guy had in the Jags last year.
That is true. Forgot about Chad Brown, too. Chad Brown got that.
Well, so that's where I would compare that more so to the Eagles, where we know that front four, Hassan Reddick, that was very spread out. Let me give you the breakdown from the Chiefs last year. 55 sacks for the Chiefs as a unit last year. 15.5 came from Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Would you identify what position on the football field would you identify Chris Jones as? Is he an edge like a Josh Allen?
He's interior.
Right.
Well, he's interior, but Chris Jones
he slides outside.
His job is like it was like Bracken's back in the day. Find the weak link and go after him.
Right.
He'll be interiorly. He'll be outside sometimes too.
Right. So you move him. So of their 55 sacks, 15.5 were from one guy.
True.
So let's go through the other 40. The next leading sack getter for the Kansas City Chiefs, who won the Super Bowl last year.
You had a rookie and Frank Clark.
6 for the rookie, George Karlaftis, who is, although a bigger guy, he is more of a defensive end edge. That's for sure. Michael Dana with 5. Frank Clark with 5. Then you have L'Jarius Sneed, corner, 3.5 sacks. Nick Bolton, a linebacker with 2. Willie Gay Jr., a linebacker with 2.5. And that's where, and then Carlos Dunlap, of course, with 4. There you go, Gator fans. And then you see a couple other guys with 1, 2 maybe. But Justin Reed had 1. Juan Thornhill had 1. Trent McDuffie had 1. I'm, of course, listing all guys in the Chiefs secondary.
Right.
And so that's where, to Leon's point, and I think
exotic blitzes.
You're already seeing it in Jags practice. And you couple the Andre Sisco, Trey Herndon blitzes with what does Devin Lloyd do for this defense in his second season? How much do they bring him? Because we know he was participating at least on one day of practice in one-on-one drills against the offensive line.
Listen, I would love for this defense to spread the wealth. Absolutely. I would love for Josh Allen to get 10. Let's say Trayvon gets 7. And then, Devon Hamilton gets 4. Roy Robinson Harris gets 5. Devin Lloyd gets 5. Cisco gets 3. If we're spreading the wealth.
You're at 37 right there.
37?
There you go.
You got about 18 to go to hit your 55.
I need 18 more to go. You've been counting. I knew he was counting. Let me see who else. Well,
you could see, I guarantee
Tyson Campbell, 3 or 4 off the edge.
Yeah, safety blitz, corner blitz,
Rayshawn,
that kind of stuff.
In there.
Yeah, you could throw all those guys in there. If they're tallying up sacks, because it's got to be a group effort. It's got, as much pressure as we put on Josh and Trayvon Walker, rightfully so. They're first round picks, top 10 picks, the ones the number 1 pick.
Chase, I don't get 4 or 5.
No.
But by the way, look here.
I don't know about
Foley
that.
needs to stay healthy, okay?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Devon needs to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And Devon can crash the boards and can get to the quarterback.
Listen, if those 3 combine, let's say those 3.
Double RH, too.
Fodakasi, Roy Robinson Harris, and Devon Hamilton. Let's say they give us 12. Would you take 12 from them guys?
Yeah.
You'd take 12.
All
right?
day.
You'd take 12.
There's your 12.
You'd probably take 10 or 11.
Yeah.
From who? From Roy Robinson Harrison?
Roy Harrison, Fudakasi, and Devon Hamilton. You could take 12 between all 4 of those guys.
I think you can get. I think you get more, but a 12 is great.
Tremendous.
Yeah, that would be good. And then then Trayvon and Josh Allen, and let's put them at
9.
9? No way.
Total or each?
No. Each?
I'm trying.
Okay,
I'm trying.
all right. You know,
All right,
let's
so that
go.
puts you 30.
Let's go 17. Let's go 17 with them. Let's go 18. Let's
All
go
right, so
18.
that puts you 30.
Yeah, so you get 8. So that's 30. All
That's
right.
your D-line.
Okay, so that's your defensive front right there. All right, and then your linebacker core. You know,
Yeah, throw
linebacker.
Devin Lloyd in there.
Devin Lloyd, Cisco,
Six.
Rayshawn. Let's go.
Wait, let's like add these up. You got 30. What's Devin going to give you?
Yeah.
Devin Lloyd. Let's say
I'm going to keep a tally right here.
Yeah, let's
so
say let's
do
say
it.
on
Let's start from the beginning. New document on the word.
Well, we already
machine.
did. We got 30 on the D-line.
We got 30 on the D-line.
So go
all
from there.
collectively. Okay.
Let's go to the linebacker.
Let's go Devin Lloyd and let's go Devin Lloyd and Muma. All right. Let's go with those two guys.
Total of 6?
I'll give him 8.
You give him 8. That's 38.
Let's give
what
him
about
8.
Aluakon?
8 between those two, not including Aluakon.
Yeah.
Between those two.
Yeah, between those two. Aluakon gives you 3. Let's
3.
say,
You're at 41 now.
Yeah, no, I don't know how many times we're going to dog the middle linebacker. Well, we may. Let's go. So where we at?
41.
Did
41.
you put Rayshawn in there yet?
I haven't put Rayshawn and Cisco in.
You haven't put anybody
blitz.
in the secondary yet.
Okay.
You also haven't put any backups on the D-line.
True.
So you're at 41.
So I'm going to go Rayshawn. I'm going to say Rayshawn, Cisco, and Tyson Campbell.
All right.
Corner blitz, whatever. So let's give them 8. Let's give them
8?
7.
Right,
7.
48.
Yep.
48.
You got 7 to go. Can
7
you
to go.
Can you get 7 from the backups on the D-line?
I don't know. Yeah.
Get your
what-
Gostis. Get your Gostis. You know,
Yeah.
some of those
They
guys
give you
in there.
1.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
Wait a minute.
Abdullah
whoa,
give you 1 or 2.
Where's Arden Key in all this?
No,
you need
he's
to add
somewhere.
him in there.
Yeah, well.
He could get it
Chase
from
and I'll give you 1 and
Nashville.
2.
You should include. Did we
Chase and I'll
include
give you 1 and
Smoot?
2.
Yeah.
No, we don't even know about the
Chase
health.
on
Yeah,
gives you
what-
1 a year.
Yeah.
Chase on
Four.
gives you 1
He
a
gives
year.
you 1 a year.
So you're at 49.
I mean, in that
Give
scenario,
Smoot
you
4,
could
'cause
get
he
to
always
54.
gets
Yeah, but listen.
Okay.
Because,
But that scenario also includes 18 from Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
9 apiece, bro. That's not much to ask for.
I'm not sure I'm seeing your point,
I'm not
man.
feeling
I
that,
totally
man.
get it.
I'm just saying.
All right. You guys get in on that. You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime and closes 641-1010. You can hit us here at Players Grill. We are right here on San Jose Boulevard in Mandarin. You Mandarin Nooners, come on by and make this one of your stops when you're watching your games, either all the preseason action, including tomorrow night with your Jags, the 7 o'clock kick, and everything else when the season kicks off. Week 0, you can hang out right here at Players Grill. It's XL Primetime. We're hanging out. Joe C., me O'Brien, Matty Hayes, Big Sirs.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
I want total control of my team.
Frank Franchi.
I want to be able to recruit anybody that I want. No interference.
The Franchi Show.
Whoever's trying out for the team, wake up.
Making the ride home a little more enjoyable. Afternoons on 1010XL.
Hey, Matt Hayes here. Why are you walking around in pain? Why are you settling for, well, this is as good as it gets? Just say yes to Yas. Dr. Mitchell Yas and the Yas method. Look, you've probably tried medications, treatments, injections, even surgery. Maybe the reason you're still in pain is because they're treating the wrong thing and not fixing the root causes. I found the best kept secret of pain elimination. It's Dr. Yas and the Yas method. Call him today, 904-906-YASS. That's 904-906-YASS. And say yes to Yas, the best kept secret in pain elimination.
Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL. Brought to you by Darley's Plumbing.
Florida Gator football a little over a week away from kickoff. They will face Utah on the road next Thursday at 8 p.m. Coach Billy Napier talked on the competitiveness of this team.
It is highly competitive. What percentage of the snaps at your position are you going to play? Are you a situational player? So every day between now and when we kick off this opener, I think we'll be evaluating.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangi, and I want to thank Coach Ellen and the team at Darley's for providing all the plumbing work for a brand new walk-off charities building that's being built. Being a San Souci guy, I've known the team at Darley's for years. They're a company I trust for my plumbing needs, and you can too.
Thanks for those kind words, Frank. At Darley's Plumbing, we don't just do residential house calls. We're your first draft pick for commercial business plumbing too. Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts.
Tacos and sports go hand in hand, literally. You can watch the game with a taco in each hand or with a taco in one hand and a tennis racket in the other. Don here from Taco Lou in Jack's Beach. I love sports, and since you're listening to this station, you love sports as well. If you love sports and tacos, then Taco Lou is calling your name. You can watch the game here, call in a to-go order, and watch it at home. Or let us cater your next party. It's Friday, so here's to a weekend full of sports, tacos, and tequila at Taco Lou in Jack's Beach.
If you're looking for exterior solutions that provide you reliability and durability, it's time to call Armor Guard Exteriors. Whether you need seamless gutters or gutter protection, hurricane products, impact windows, glass lanais, or retractable awnings and screens, we've got you covered. Call My Home Team today for your 5-star experience at 904-906-8669.
Armor Guard Exteriors, committed to quality, and that's a promise.
Wondering what you're going to do for dinner tonight? Southern Steer Butcher is a full-service butcher, and we grind and make sausage in-house every day.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
When you hear that phone ring on 1010XL, hello, we're bringing you another great guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
Where's the phone? Over there.
Listen for great phone interviews all day on the All-Pro Roofing phone line on 1010XL.
Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying. They can also signal a major problem or electrical emergency. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
888-8 Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs and just one track left. Well, not just any track.
We're basically going to have to win.
Daytona. A last chance to keep playoff hopes alive.
1 point to the good.
And for fans to experience an event unlike any other. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
People often ask me, Lee, do I have to take the roadside sobriety tests? The answer is no. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett. Auditioning for your freedom on the side of the road can be nerve-wracking. And although your refusal might be used in court, in many cases, it's better to think twice and talk with an attorney first. I have 25 years of experience defending those accused of DUIs and criminal charges all over Northeast Florida. I'm from here, I live here, and I'm here to help you if you need me. I love fighting for your rights. Know Before You Blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Best Bet is number one. That's right. Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play against a designated player, one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war. Just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. More at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
This one is for all the ladies. Join us in celebrating Women's Equality Day, August 26th, with Ladies' Night at the Bank. Your Jaguars are taking on the Miami Dolphins, and you won't want to miss out. Enjoy an exclusive pregame cocktail hour, food and drink voucher, and a ticket to this exciting preseason matchup starting at just $70. To get your girls to the game, visit Jaguars.com/Ladies Night or call 904-633-5290. Packages are selling fast, so secure your spot now.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a Big Hair Heavy Metal Friday on XL Primetime.
I literally was just texting my brother about this yesterday.
Oh, yeah? This song?
Yeah, we saw these guys years ago, and I was like, this is... I just texted him the song. Remember this thing?
Right.
Great tune.
Okay. I like the sound of that.
Is this Big Hair? Or just,
It's rock and roll.
Good rock? Just good rock and roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which we will happily take.
We accept all of it at the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosure, 641-1010. Players Grill rocking on a Big Hair Heavy Metal Friday. Mia O'Brien, Joe C. Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy with you until 3. Make sure you stop on by for their $10 wing special, as well as to watch the Jags game right here tomorrow night with plenty of beautiful TVs. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that they also have a build your own burger option.
Yeah, we witnessed that.
What the hell were you doing?
Yeah,
Seriously?
I had no. What were you doing?
Yeah, during the break, I ordered my burger, and I told her, I want a little bit of everything, because she asked me. She actually asked me, do you want ketchup, mustard, mayo? I didn't even ask for it. She asked, do you want all three? And I said, actually, we've got some burger aficionados on this program, so yes, please deliver all three.
Yeah. Do you know what you did when you got the ketchup, mustard, and mayo?
What did I do, Leon?
$1,000. That's what you
That's
had.
what you did. You
That's
made
what you did. You just made $1,000.
What do you think In-N-Out Animal style is?
I'm just
That's
saying
all
that's
it
what you did.
is.
You had $1,000.
Wait a second. Wait 1 second. Bo Valentine's over there. He's eating it the exact same way that I eat it.
Yeah.
He's not a creep. He's your man.
You mean just plain as can be?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how he
Burger,
eats it.
cheese, ketchup. Done.
No, what people
I
should
still don't mind
appreciate.
lettuce at all. But
Yeah,
you
well,
guys were attacking the garden earlier.
Yeah, she was. She had a side salad on a burger, all right?
She
And
literally
then-
took a bite of
Yes,
lettuce.
and then she took a huge bite, and she had more lettuce in her mouth than the burger.
It's a tomato,
Yes,
pickled cucumber is what it is, and then a big hunk of iceberg lettuce, which is fine because it cools it off just a little bit. But
Yeah.
honestly, I'm closer to the burger creep than I want to admit. But I'm with him. It's just give me the flavor of the burger. I will put lettuce on there all
Give me
day.
the burger.
I'll put lettuce on there all
burger,
day.
man.
The
Now,
burger than cheese.
I'm with one of
That's
my.
it.
I'm with one of my Budweiser boys last night, and it's TLD and his lovely wife, and so we go out, and it's steak night. Okay, so we all order steak, and I'm happy to say, out of a table for four, no one ordered ketchup.
Okay, well,
as
that's a good
side.
thing. That's a good
Nobody
thing.
ordered ketchup. So you went with the extras. You went with a little béarnaise sauce. You went with a little mushroom. You went with a few different things that you could put on the sides, but nobody.
No
asked for
A1. No one.
ketchup.
No A1.
Yeah, nope.
Good, that's good. That's
No,
good.
if you're in a fancy steakhouse, that's one
Nah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah,
The chef would get offended.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
One thing I will say about the mayo, though, it's not suiting poor dear Will Levis all that well, because it appears with a thigh injury, he will not be playing in the Titans preseason game tonight. Another opportunity for Malik Willis, and perhaps for the Jaguars, a welcome sign of instability, perhaps, up in Tennessee.
Well, look, I've been preaching doom and gloom for 3 AFC South cities outside of Duval, and they're going to come in all different forms. And I will never say anything negative about Derrick Henry. I will not wish ruin on him at all. But the end is coming for the diesel. He's going to run out of fuel. And then all those other quarterback questions that they've got, they're going to be in a world of hurt. They are. C.J. Stroud, I don't know exactly what he's going to be able to do as a rookie, but, we already talked about AR. There is ruin headed for other AFC South cities. That's for sure.
Yeah, Crimea River. I don't feel for any of them.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
absolutely none of them.
Yeah.
The turmoil that we've had to endure over the last decade, to see them win divisions, go in the playoffs, and us be home. I don't
rub
feel-
it and rub it in the Jags' face.
Oh, yeah. I don't have no.
This team has been in this division, I believe, since 2002. Do you know how many division titles they've won?
One?
Two?
2017 and last season.
That's it.
All right, 2017.
Okay,
Right.
so this team needs to start getting some banners, okay? This team needs to start kicking a little A and owning the AFC South roost, and this is the beginning of it.
Well, the last time they won back-to-back is when I was playing.
Yeah, 98, 99. So it is to get to the playoffs. That's the last time they did back-to-back years. So it's been a minute.
So the Titans are in action in the preseason tonight. The Texans and Saints, the lone game on Sunday night. That game nationally televised, it looks like, or at least that's what ESPN's telling me. So I'll be curious if it is. C.J. Stroud is expected to start, which the assumption is he will be the Week 1 starter for the Texans, which means he would be under center, assuming that all goes at least healthily.
Yeah.
That's not even a word, but I'm going to make it a word. The first 2 weeks of the season. And so the Jaguars would face rookie quarterbacks in 2 of their first 3 games.
Mm-hmm. And so, honestly, it's the best situation. One on the road, one at home, and it really won't matter that much because both of them, it'll be crucial that they get themselves in position to attack the quarterback because that's what we're talking about.
That's right.
Because they got those 2 quarterbacks, one on the road, one here, and then sandwiched in between them is Pat Mahomes. And you got to pick your poison if you're going to get after him with a blitz. But those other 2, my gosh, man, you better take advantage of this. Did you guys see – I think you said last night you watched Pittsburgh Atlanta.
Yeah, I watched the first.
And Matt, I know you're maybe a little higher on Desmond Ritter, Leon's Riddler, than we are,
The
right?
Riddler.
The Riddler.
Yeah. Are you a little bit higher on him? Because I'm not high on him.
I think he has a chance.
Yeah, I'm not high on him or Arthur Smith for that matter. Bijan Robinson will be
high
a
on his
stud.
weapons.
Yeah, he
That's
will be
where
a stud.
I would equate the Falcons to the potential of being a 2017 Jags, where while there's certainly questions at the quarterback position, they tried to load up even more so than the 2017 Jags at all the skill positions, and then they invested heavily in free agency on their defense. So
Yeah, they did.
There's a chance. I'm just not sure in terms of longevity. If that actually is sustainable, especially if you don't have the all-important position in the National Football League.
I mean, that is it. And so they've got to get to that point where they can prove that they've got a guy that can run the show for them. And so I'm looking at it. This team can get out of the box hot if they can get it going. And who knows what happens with Chris Jones. I'm just putting it out there. We don't know whether he's going to show up and pick up his first paycheck. And if he doesn't, by all means, hold out for at least the first couple of weeks of the season.
And will he be in shape?
Yeah.
I mean, that's another question, too.
Yeah, but, and trust me, when they come to O-line and D-line, and there's one thing about being in workout shape, and then there's football shape. And we have a tendency when we've been away from the game for a long time, we pull stuff.
Yeah.
Because getting off and pushing and tugging and being pulled.
You're not in game shape.
Exactly, not in game shape. So, I mean, don't be surprised if they do sign him, if they don't sign him. When he comes back, he's going to have some issues with quad, back, leg, all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be in play as well. All right, I don't
Especially
feel
if
sorry
he has
for
one
him.
in week 2.
And by the way,
as long as he has one in week 2, right?
Yeah. Hey, just to Leon's sack total, the Saxonville, the return of it, those rookie quarterbacks will help lead you to some sacks. The Desmond Ritters of the world will help lead you to some sacks. So that part, and Bryce Young with that lack of line protection will help lead you to some sacks. Off the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, I have $100 on the Jags having a total of 47 sacks at the end of the year.
Wow.
All right. So that's beautiful.
That's
I don't know what the number was that he got, but that's
from
good.
the fuel man on the north side who did his
I love the fuel
breakdown.
man.
Are you ready for the breakdown, boys?
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
12 sacks for Trayvon Walker.
Wow.
8 sacks for Josh Allen. Stick a pin in that because I want to circle back to that number in particular. 5 sacks for Devin Lloyd. 3 for Chad Muma. 10 for the defensive front as a whole. The defensive line, I should say. 5 for Rayshon Jenkins. 2 for Andrew Wingard. And 3 for Cisco. Now, the reason I wanted to stick a pin in the Josh Allen 8-sack conversation, and the boys, Jaguars in-house, of JP, our boys Brian Sexton, Osher, the whole crew, they have all been debating throughout the course of the last few weeks on their programs, which you also can hear on 1010. Is 8 sacks enough for the Jaguars to say, we are going to invest more money in Josh Allen moving forward? Knowing you're going to have to pay Trevor, you most likely will have to pay Calvin Ridley next offseason, Tyson Campbell, Andre Cisco, Walker Little. Is 8 sacks enough? Because then, Leon, while you certainly could go out and draft a guy in the first round, if you don't re-sign Josh Allen, my assumption would be you're going to have to go sign somebody else for big bucks. Would you not?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, if Trayvon Walker out-sacks him this season, that may cost him money.
Well, if Trayvon Walker gets 12 in that scenario, bye, Josh.
Well, that might be the situation.
And Josh gets 8. Bye, Josh.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then your first pick is a rush in.
Yeah. I don't know if who's going to be. We're going to be drafting somewhere like 25 on down.
All right.
We got some quality.
I'm all right with that.
Okay.
But they might free agent up and sign somebody on a lesser deal than giving Josh maybe.
I mean, you're going to give him a ton of money for getting 7
sacks
a season?
No. If he gets 8 sacks, then he's cost himself some money. I mean, he becomes maybe even the scratch, like you say. He might be gone by somewhere else.
Especially if Trayvon has
Trayvon has 12 and he has 8.
That's a different
game.
And
he outperforms us this season. Yeah, he's not going to get his money here.
That's completely.
He's going to get his money somewhere else. He won't get it here.
Right.
He's got to outperform Trayvon.
Right. I'm not saying he won't get paid somewhere. He will get paid.
Yeah, he'll get paid. But
someone's
going
to pay him, right?
Yeah, but not here.
Because they won't have the money here. As much as $15 million as of this writing would roll over, you do see the salary cap inflate by $50 million, which the assumption is obviously you're going to work some things around, and he still has one more year on his rookie deal, but that money is being set aside for Trevor Lawrence.
Now, to your point, if Trayvon gets 4 and Josh Allen gets 8, then you start to think, well, what else can you get?
You're handcuffed. You're tied.
Well, because then you have to spend all this money because you got to keep all those other guys.
Right.
And you're going to have to go out and get another sack.
Okay.
Someone who can
Well, let me
generate
ask you this
sacks.
question. What is the sack total that he gets where it doesn't matter?
10.
So, I mean.
Oh, you mean where you have to re-sign him?
Where you have to re-sign him. Because if let's say
Trayvon
gets 12, when we're reaching, and Josh gets 11.5.
You're
11 and
inking a
a
deal.
half. I think you resign him.
Yeah, you're inking a deal.
Yeah, I mean, there's a number that we can equate to where it won't matter. That if he gets to that number, that we're going to have to resign him.
Put it to you this way. Yeah, he's got to get to double digits.
Double digits. Got to get double digits.
Closer to double digits than what his 4+1, his jersey number is.
I know, but y'all got to understand, he's going to want a lot of money.
Yeah,
he's going to want to be paid like a top guy.
Yeah, but see, I think the double digit is the double digit closer to 9. Compared to the double digit closer to 15, will get him.
See, I think we're looking at it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be looking at it with Trayvon.
Right.
I think we should be looking at it at what if Tyson Campbell has a big year? What if Cisco has a big year? What if Walker Little has a big year?
They have a lot of guys they have to map out money for. Yeah.
Yes, and then it becomes who do you want to give the money to?
Okay, but don't think for a moment that my idea of this, the main things Trent Baalke you're thinking about more than anything else are Trevor, Calvin, and do you ink your pass rusher to a bigger deal? Those are the three most expensive price
if Calvin
tags.
really has the year that everybody thinks he's going to have.
And throw Walker Little into that equation.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the most expensive price tags. And then Tyson does get really expensive. Cisco not as much, but those other ones,
Walker Little,
that's
which is a conversation I want to have with Coach Campo when he rolls in at 2:00. How do you pay Walker Little? Because, and this is what I want to talk to Coach Campo about, let's say the scenario we have been talking about all week in light of Cam Robinson's performance in the last 2 preseason games, despite an okay camp.
Yeah.
What if Barchi looks healthy? He and Walker Little have this great chemistry that Barch talked about right here on XL Primetime yesterday. And week 5 rolls around, and let's say Cam doesn't play well tomorrow. Do you really say we're going to reinsert him into the lineup and push Walker Little to left guard? Or do you say we're going to roll with these two guys and make you the swing tackle? In turn, now you have to pay Walker Little left tackle money, no question.
Yeah, no matter what, I think the future of this team's got to be him at left tackle.
If this Jaguar team starts 4-0,
which means you've got to pay him as a left tackle.
If this Jaguar team starts 4-0, and you got Barch and Walker Little just mauling people on the left side, giving adequate protection, getting it done, and week 5 rolls around, and you say, Cam, we're going to – that would be insane to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That can't be a coaching decision. That's got to be up the ladder decision.
We also we have no idea what's going to happen as far as injuries around the league. Somebody may need a left tackle. And at that point, if they're a contender and they're desperate, you might be able to get a good pick.
Now you got a domino you can use.
You might be able to get a good pick for him. Yeah.
Speaking of dominoes, let's knock another one over. As much as we are not going to make our picks for week 0, I do want to look at the lines. I do want to look at the score potential from those week 0 games currently on the calendar for tomorrow afternoon and night. This is XL Primetime. More Jags talk coming up at 2 as well when Coach Campo comes and joins us live at Players Grill.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Go! Your play-by-play home of Bulldogs football is 1010XL.
The Bulldogs start the season against St. Augustine, Friday at 7:30 on 1010 AM.
The Internal Revenue Service is reported to be receiving $80 billion in additional funding for the 2022 tax year for unpaid tax enforcement. There has never been a budget increase this large in the history of the IRS. All of this funding is for more revenue officers and collecting delinquent taxes. If you owe the IRS, you have a short time to get your tax issues resolved or face financial devastation. J. Davis Tax Law is right here in Jacksonville and provides tax relief for all personal payroll and sales tax problems. They've achieved thousands of successful outcomes for their clients, and that's why their reputation speaks for itself. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, do your research to see why J. David Tax Law is the most effective option to relieve your tax burden. Call J. David Tax Law at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777 or at jdavidtaxlaw.com.
Did you know the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid never needs to be plugged in? The onboard system charges the batteries for you. When you think Honda, think hybrid. Good for the environment, great for your budget. Visit your local Honda dealer to experience the CR-V of the future today.
Whether you are looking for a job or an employer trying to hire, there's only one stop in Jacksonville, Remedy Staffing. Labor trends keep us guessing. As employers, the job market has been strong. So what does that mean for workers' availability? If you're interested in the workforce solutions or how the Remedy team can help you, call or text Crystal at 904-329-9802. 329-9802, Remedy Staffing.
As your favorite football teams gear up for the season,
So is the team at River City Lighting on Phillips Highway. Come in this week during their moving sale and score big-time savings with everything 40 to 70% off. This moving sale includes all lighting, fans, mirrors, fountains, and artwork. Hurry in today for the best selection and find the lights of your dreams at River City Lighting and the Fan Man on Phillips Highway, just north of 295.
It doesn't get any better than live country music. Enjoy Daryl Ray at Players Grill Miramar this Friday at 7 p.m. with discount cocktails while the local star rocks out. Players Grill Miramar, where the neighborhood meets.
This is my bar. This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 25th, 1986, A's Mark McGwire hits his first Major League home run in his fourth game in the Bigs. McGwire would go on to hit 583 career home runs.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here. Hurricane season is upon us. That's why I always recommend Patriot Roofing Services, specializing in all types of commercial, residential roofing and repairs, gutters, sun tubes, skylights, 10-year workmanship warranty, financing is available, military and senior citizen discounts, no subcontractors. Give my buddy Mark a call, 982-4052, licensed and insured, or go to Patriot Roofing Services online.
Legally Blonde comes to the Alhambra Theater for the first time ever next month. Lauren Brooks here. Make your plans for Ladies' Night now because this show is close to selling out. Everyone loves Legally Blonde, which starred Reese Witherspoon in the lead as Elle, who enrolled at Harvard Law to try to win back her ex-boyfriend. Plus, there's 2 dogs in the show. Legally Blonde begins September 28th. Get your tickets for Legally Blonde at the Alhambra for Girls' Night today at alhambrajacks.com. That's alhambrajacks.com.
Come to Monahan Jewelers store-wide 50 to 60% off sale going on now for a very limited time. Everything on display is 50 to 60% off at Monahan Jewelers. We've bought so much brand new jewelry, we need to make room for it. Diamond jewelry, engagement semi-mounts, colored gemstones, even gold chains. Right now, everything on display at Monahan Jewelers is 50 to 60% off. Jewelry's going quick, so come to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
'Tis the season to be cool. Florida Home AC wants to make sure you're not cooked like a Christmas goose this summer. Make sure your AC unit is ready for the heat, and if it's time to look at replacement, look for quality and value. You'll get that from Florida Home AC. And right now, take advantage of $1,750 off a brand new heating and AC unit. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com for all the details and trust a company that will always keep you cool. Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars.
Sports injuries are a common issue for both adults and children. Dr. George Barry here, and as a specialist in orthopedic care, the team at Barry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine here in Jacksonville provides comprehensive diagnosis and treatments of all types of sports injuries. With additional training in sports medicine and more than 30 years of experience, the team is available to care for your entire family and help you have fun and stay active. Visit us today at BarryOrthopedics.com.
And don't forget to check out Breaking Bones Sunday morning, 7:30 on 1010XL.
What's the famous automotive philosophy? It means consistency across all 20 locations for friendly service, honest pricing, and realistic time expectations, so you know your vehicle is in good hands at any Famous Automotive and Famous Quick Lube.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect pair for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
This is Dr. Michael Iorio, internal medicine physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars cornerback Tyson Campbell is going into his 3rd professional season here in Jacksonville. He went one-on-one with Hayes Carline and spoke about his training camp battles with Calvin Ridley.
I love it, man. Just 2 competitors going at it each and every day in practice. I know he's going to make Sunday so much easier for me, and I'm going to do the same for him. So, you know, he's a great caliber receiver. He can do it all. So I'm just blessed to have him on the team.
What makes him such a special player in your mind?
He can do everything. He can run routes. He can run. Great hands. Smart player, willing blocker. great teammate. So it's like, what more can you ask for?
Tyson Campbell with Hayes Carline. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
You know, I do think the closer that we get to the game, the more the attention to detail has to improve, right? The level of focus and urgency that we bring to every meeting, every walkthrough, every practice rep, knowing that we are going to compete against the very best in the entire country and the margin there is small.
It's a big hair, heavy metal Friday on XL Primetime.
Well, Billy Napier, he's one of those guys that doesn't necessarily – he might even be that speak softly and carry a big stick guy because he doesn't overwhelm you with words or anything like that, but he is recruiting like a son of a gun, is bringing in a decent freshman class, and they're going to take that bunch out to Utah next week. As we were talking about that game, we brought up what Shane Matthews had to say about Tennessee coming to the Swamp and really the prospects of a winning season for your Florida Gators, and got the Gators roundtable with Shane, Chris Doring, the ball coach, Steve Spurrier, and Dan Hicken hosting, and they shot it over at Spurrier's a couple weeks ago,
right.
And it's out, and we have it on YouTube, so you can go to 1010XL, search for it there.
It's brought to you by Safe Harbor Seafood.
Yeah, just everywhere, social media-wise. Thanks to Safe Harbor Seafood for bringing it to you. But then, Matt, you shared it, and SEC Mike just ran with it.
And he's, SEC Mike he's an SEC guy,
yeah.
Covers the SEC, but he's got Tennessee roots.
Mm-hmm.
He and his cousin do the show, and they're Tennessee guys. And so it's been up now for I don't know how many hours, maybe 10 hours with them. 180,000 views, the video.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tennessee fans are going nuts on it on Twitter, just ripping everything about it because, they say the Gators are going to go 8-4, that the Gators could beat Tennessee. They're not worried about Joe Milton.
Well, just to give Shane credit for his quote, this is on Gators Roundtable. You can find it online. Quote, "We get Tennessee at home. Tennessee hasn't had much success in the Swamp. I don't care how far Joe Milton can throw a football. I've seen him play. I think Tennessee takes a step back." And you want to talk about fuel, okay? Ooh. They are already putting some high-octane stuff in those mason jars in the backyard, but that's a different kind of fuel for Tennessee. There is no question about it.
Chicken or the egg, though? What made last year's Tennessee offense?
Hendo and Heupel.
Hendo and Heupel, or the wide receivers they also lost? Which I would assume, Matt, they have a pretty good skill player group coming back. Do they not?
I'm going to go
they
Heupel, Hendo is what I'm going to say.
Either way, either combo.
Which one of them is still there?
They've got 3 good receivers coming back. They also got a transfer from Oregon who's really good. So they'll be fine.
And let's
2
not
really
forget,
good running backs. They'll be fine.
And let's not forget the quality of player in the receiver that they did say goodbye to. We'll find out, like you said, if they recruit well, they'll go right back out there and they'll get another one. That's one thing about the college game. If you're recruiting, you recruit to that position where a Jalen Hyatt and a Sud Tillman, all those guys start, you can go get another guy that's going to be able to step right in and do, and do the same thing. But that quarterback, Leon, quarterback.
If you got a quarterback, you got a shot, though. If you got a quarterback, an elite quarterback, you definitely got a shot. And now you just go out there and you compartmentalize. You're putting certain pieces there to complement him. So, I mean, yeah, you can lose guys, but with the transfer portal and the availability of it, you can replace guys as well when they leave.
Right. Yeah, simple as that. All right, we're going to not replace you. We're just going to sub you out for Coach Campo.
But we also, before we let Leon go, though, because, Leon, you are going to be watching Week 0.
Yeah, I will.
You were ready to make your picks.
I was.
Okay.
Well, all of us were except for one guy.
Listen, I'm holding the crown for another week. I don't care.
Yeah.
I got no problem. I would rather be picking LSU, FSU, and all those other big games, Utah, Florida, next week. I'll probably have a losing record, but I don't care. I'm not scared.
Let's run through some lines, and you tell me who your locks are. Notre Dame, 20.5?
Yeah, lock.
UTEP, 1-point favorite over Jacksonville State.
Jacksonville. No.
It's Rich Rod.
Oh, Jacksonville State.
Rich Rodriguez of Jacksonville State.
Really?
Yeah.
Rich Rods?
Yeah.
I'm going with Jacksonville State.
You're with Jacksonville State?
Why not?
And one more before we got to send you off. The next closest line we have, San Diego State, 2.5-point favorites over Nathan Rourke's alma mater, the Ohio Bobcats.
Oh, wow. I'm saying go Bobcats.
Yeah, go your mighty Bobcats.
Bobcats, baby.
On the road, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
And those lines, that's why we're not doing the pick. That's it. All right,
pretty
Big
good
Sirs.
San Diego State team.
All
too.
right.
Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
You got it.
All right, he heads out. Coach Camp will be coming rolling in. He's ready to go. Players Grill, you can roll on in here. You Mandarin Nooners, we'd love to see you. Any of the Players Grills here, Miramar, which is Hendricks Avenue, and then the brand new Oakleaf location which will be opening up next week. So remember, where the neighborhood meets is at the Players Grill.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. All those people who live in other places wish they lived here.
Why didn't we do this sooner?
1010XL, proud to live in Duval.
Key Buick GMC. Save up to $6,000 on new Buicks and no payments until 2024. That's no payments until next year. Combine big savings with low APR to fit any budget, like 4.84% APR for up to 72 months. Remember, whenever you purchase a brand new Buick or GMC from Key, it comes with the lifetime powertrain warranty. We are professional grade. Stop in today and ask for Derek or Brian. Key Buick GMC on the corner of South Side and Gate, or go to keybuickgmc.com.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Denny Thompson here. Are you a home builder looking for a reliable low-voltage partner? Look no further than Tyson Sound and Security. They've been working hard with large and small builders for 15 years. Here's why they are the top choice. They will enhance your home buyer's home experience by offering custom home design appointments, and your budget stays intact while they deliver top quality services. Builders, send your plans over today to bid. Tyson Sound and Security, security and home automation experts.
Hey, this is Jason with Bueller Air Conditioning. Why do we love to go to that awesome grocery store where shopping is a pleasure? Why do we choose that amazing chicken sandwich where the service is fast and friendly and it's always their pleasure? You see, those brands are a promise. Here at Bueller Air, our team is committed to serving the customer and delivering that same kind of brand promise. Our mission is to be the most trusted brand with friendly and professional service every single time. Give us a call today or visit BuellerAir.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Summer's winding down, and we know you want to enjoy what's left of it. But before you celebrate this Labor Day weekend, plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
This is Sheridan Tootin, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, and Dr. Kevin Murphy put my right shoulder back together a few years ago, and I'm still feeling great. Now I'm using PRP treatment for my knee pain. No matter what you're dealing with, if you're enduring any orthopedic issue, my only recommendation is Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Superior Fence and Rail knows about exceptional customer service. From the first call to the final inspection, Superior's team provides first-class care with great communication, friendly installers, and quality fence products. There's a reason why Superior is the top-rated fence company in Jacksonville. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your new fence today.
When you're on the fence about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
If you've been thinking about selling your home for whatever reason, now is the time. The U.S. Home Price Index is on the rise. Interest rates are stabilizing. The market is turning more seller-friendly. And you have Chad and Sandy Newman. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Maybe you want maximum equity from your home, but you're not sure how. Well, guess what? Chad and Sandy are sure how. Don't wait any longer. Take advantage of the incredible service and guarantee of selling your home at your price that Chad and Sandy are offering. Jim and Alice in Fort Caroline, we wanted to downsize, sell our Fort Caroline home, and move to the country. I heard about Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. We had a lot of stuff that couldn't fit in a smaller place, so we needed extra help. Chad had the perfect plan to handle every detail. Our home sold for full price in 5 days. Call the agents. We recommend Chad and Sandy, guaranteeing your home or they will buy it. That's ChadandSandy.com. ChadandSandy.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Florida fans, check out the Gator Roundtable presented by Safe Harbor Seafood with Dan Hicken, Steve Spurrier, Shane Matthews, and Chris Doring. What does Shane Matthews think of Gators starting quarterback Graham Mertz?
I like Graham Mertz a lot. He reminds me of a quarterback that would have played for this guy. Smart. He's extremely smart. I've sat in on meetings. His football IQ is way up there. I think he's accurate. I think he anticipates, and I think they're going to be a good football team.
This 2023 Gators preview is available on YouTube and wherever you find podcasts. The Gators kick off their 2023 season this Thursday at number 14 Utah. You can listen to the Florida broadcast right here on 1010XL. It's right now 93 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's welcome in XL Primetime's coach, Dave Campo.
See Coach Campo in the house here at Players Grill. We roll into our 2 o'clock hour. Joe C., me O'Brien, Matty Hayes. You can check out everything he's got going at SaturdayDownSouth.com. And Coach Campo, you ready to rock and roll?
I am. This is a great venue over here.
And this is not your first time here. You like?
Well, I hadn't been to this one.
Okay.
So, I've been to Players Grill, but not this one.
Yeah.
And this is really nice. They did a great job out here.
Yeah, excellent feel to it, where the neighborhood meets. That's why that slogan worked, that's for sure.
Let's ask Coach Campo. I don't think we've ever done this, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, what do you put on your burger?
Ketchup, lettuce and tomato, salt and pepper.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
That's it.
It is wild that ketchup collides with tomato.
Yeah, every once in a while, I used to put mayonnaise on it until I came back here.
Yeah.
I don't like anything with mayo on it with the Titans. The way
exactly, you're a smart man.
Yeah,
You're a smart man.
I've gone away from that.
All right, now let's get into a couple of things. You guys can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures if you want. Coach is on YouTube with us as well, so you can go to YouTube and search for 1010XL, and you'll see our live stream inside Players Grill. So the like maybe one guy that you'd like to see make a statement tomorrow night just to make sure that he makes the team. Is there a guy that pops to mind? There aren't too many threshold guys that are in danger of being cut necessarily. It's just trying to figure out which one of those guys are going to, ultimately fill up the 53.
Well, the first guy I want to see is Trevor Lawrence, and I know he's going to make the team, but I want to see him. I want him to play out. But I don't know. Is Antonio Johnson playing tomorrow night?
He will not.
He is not, because to me, that would be a guy, number one, that you'd want to look at. But I think the backup corner situation is going to be critical. You know, I think I know what's going to happen with the receivers. I think they're going to go with the special teams all the way. I think the backup corner position, though, with Tavon Campbell, with Monteric. You know, Monteric's got to play tomorrow night.
That would be one of my guys I would mention.
That's one of the ones that I would look at very strongly. And then you got Braswell and Devod Wilson and some of those guys that are going to have to, show what they can do. Well, Claybrooks is another one, because I think he's got a few background.
I think he's a cut.
Yeah, it could
You
be.
think he's a cut?
Yeah, I mean.
Just because of it's a fourth-year guy, a little bit more expensive than a Braswell or a Monteric Brown, and also the potential of the off the field.
You can't ignore.
And it looks like they've got some guys that can be gunners.
Yeah.
And that's probably his strength.
Yeah, because extremely fast.
Yeah. So, but really, I think the corner position is the one that I want to see the most, you know, and who's going to fight to make the football team.
So I said that I would ask you this, Coach, because I wasn't here Tuesday because I had to jet off to practice. After seeing Cam Robinson through 2 preseason games, we obviously haven't seen Ben Barch on the field, but in practice, you know, he's been cleared. He says he's healthy. He's looked okay in practice. If he and Walker Little are to play extremely well together those first 4 games of the season, what do you do about Cam, number one? And then not to mention, we didn't even bring this up, boys, and while I certainly think it would be less expensive, you would have to pay Barchi, too, because he's in a contract year.
Yeah, like if you were to go down that line, that would make it 6 as far as, really priority positions that you've got to take care of.
Because if you don't pay him, then you got to find somebody else to play that left guard spot next year.
Well, in answer to your question, originally I would have said Cam Robinson comes back. But after watching him in these last couple ball games, I don't know what the situation is. I don't know whether he's injured. He doesn't care right now. It's not a big deal to him. He has not played well.
You've graded him what?
Oh, well, I don't know what grading scale you're saying, but he did not play well.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way. He got run by. He got pushed back into the quarterback. He was deep setting too far. You know, a lot of things that you didn't see last year.
Yeah.
So, my situation would be, if those guys are playing well, you play them. And then the thing with Barch, I was a Barch fan before he got hurt. I think we all were.
Me too, yeah.
He had shown some things. That's not a priority position. So I think you still have to go with, you'd have to pay Walker Little tackle money.
Right.
Barch, I don't know how expensive he would be. He is somebody that's in a contract here, though, so if he's playing well, you got to deal with it. But there's other guys that are going to make a lot more money than he is.
So we've been talking about sacks forever, the entire offseason. I look at this as it's really third down defense. So if you get a sack, great. If not, it's getting off the field, right? It's getting off the field better than it's typically like low 30s is what you're looking for, 32% conversion rate from your opponent. Anything under that, you're fantastic.
Well,
that's the key, right?
Well, you have to get them off on third down.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is based on how well you play on first and second down. So I think that's the big thing. We used to say third down defense was won on first down. Because when you get the third down, if it's in the 7 range and plus, you should win the majority of those on defense. Right. Because the quarterback cannot check down the ball all the time. Mm-hmm. But if it's 3rd and 5 or less or 6, it's in the offense's favor. So you got to win on third down. Now, I think the sacks and third down defense go hand in hand. If you're getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback on early downs, that's when you get into the 3rd and 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s.
Right.
So to me, it's a combination of both of them. But you have to give your offense more opportunities to score.
Yeah.
And in a normal game, you only have maybe 11, right? 11 or 12
total.
That many, you think?
Yeah.
You think you get that many in a game?
Well, that's high.
Yeah.
I think that's high. That's the most you can get.
Yeah.
So,
now, I've kind of made the proclamation. Tell me if you agree with the sentiment that this team will play with the lead more often. They will have more snaps, game minutes with the lead, which will parlay into more sacks and more pass
that's
rush.
the plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan because, you can say whatever you want. On an offensive, if you're thinking things offensively, if you're behind, you're throwing the football. Yeah. You can say whatever you want. They'll throw some runs in there to do whatever, but You're throwing the ball at that point, and the more times they throw the ball, the better chance you have if you've got a good unit to get pressure and to force the bad throws and those kind of things.
Coach, have you made your initial 53 yet? Have you written it out on paper yet?
Well, I have stuff down on paper, and I think it comes down to two things.
Because my follow-up to that, sorry to cut you off, my follow-up to that was the same question that was asked of Doug Peterson yesterday, which is, are there players that right now are on the outside looking in, but they can make the roster in the final preseason game?
Yeah, I think it depends, how well they play, whether or not you keep one more of a certain position or you keep one less of a certain position, and then that adds one to another position. So I think that's where, my feeling is when you look at it, if you're going to – I count it – I don't know how many they're going to keep offense and defense, but I'm taking it 25 and 25 plus the 3 special teams guys are going to be punter, kicker, and a snapper. They're going to make it, whoever that is. If you go 25 and 25, to me it comes down to if you keep 9 offensive linemen, then you can keep another receiver. If you keep 10 offensive linemen, then you either have to drop a running back or a receiver.
Right.
So you either go from 4 running backs to 3, or you go from 6 receivers to 5.
What do you typically keep on the O-line?
I'm saying 9.
Okay.
I'm saying 9.
But usually it's
Well,
it
so there's-
generally is not 8. It usually is not.
But they kept 8 last year.
Right.
And so Bo Valentine was explaining this to me. We should probably get him on the headset.
Injury.
Correct. Injury. But also there is some sort of rule he was explaining to me that if you have 8 active on the roster, then that allows for you to have an additional practice squad elevation. If you have 8 offensive linemen, which the Jags used to their benefit last year because they elevated Coy Cronk the last 5 games of the season because he can play guard or tackle. And I could see a situation where they're elevating 2 guys on that offensive line because they only have 8 active. And if you throw in the whole wrench of Cooper Hodges, is he going to make the initial 53, then get placed on IR, or be placed on season-ending IR ahead of time? That also, I think, factors into the numbers along that offensive line.
That's all absolutely right, whoever that is. And let me tell you, I'll be honest with you, we didn't have that big a practice squad and all these rules.
Right.
So for me, I'm not even taking that into consideration.
No.
I'm just looking at what you want on your roster.
Right.
And mine is 9, especially with injury.
Yeah.
Now, you might be able to go to 8 if you've got a healthy group.
Yeah.
As long as you got somebody in the wings to be able to come in there.
You may deal with injuries more at one position group than others, and you may get down to 8 when it's all said.
Exactly. And then the other situation is, do you keep 10 DBs?
You and I went 5 and 5.
If you keep 10 DBs, how many linebackers are you going to keep?
Right.
If you keep 8 linebackers, then you have to keep you can keep 10. If you keep 9, 5 and 4 by position, then you have to cut it back.
Yeah, because I could go 6 defensive linemen, a total of 10 defensive backs, and then a total of 8 linebackers.
Yeah, well, you can actually go 9. If you go
you
6,
could. You could.
6 D line, 4 outside linebackers, or 5 inside linebackers, and then 10 DBs. But if you go 11 DBs, 6 corners and 5 safeties, because I think Antonio Johnson's going to make it.
Right.
So if that happens, you can only go 4 and 4
Yeah.
at the linebacker position. So there's a lot of decisions made there.
Yeah, and it's almost like Antonio Johnson might fit into 2 cells of depth.
Right.
And it could be that nickel, and it obviously would be the safety.
Heck, you could include him as a linebacker, too, when you think
Well,
about how many 3 safety looks that
I'm just
they want to
thinking
run.
of those numbers,
Right.
because you could look at 6 corners and you would have 2 deep on, outside nickel.
Yeah.
You're going to have to make a decision on that.
Well, when I was listening to you guys earlier about when you were going through the roster and how many, how many sacks you were going to get or whatever,
Right.
I think, unless I heard it wrong, you left Herndon out of it. That's another guy that's going to have some sacks.
Yeah.
Now you might have been high. You might have been high on some of the safety sacks.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I mean, you're not
Cisco and Rayshon, definitely.
Yeah, that may be high, but Herndon's going to figure into that because the nickel blitzes are probably the one you're going to see the most on 3rd down.
So you're going to put him at like 58 then.
Well,
sacks.
Yeah. I'm definitely not going at whatever it is. I'm going 9-9.
Yeah, exactly.
9 plus.
We're the T-shirt.
We're the 9
Yeah,
T-shirt.
we're the T-shirt boys
with
right
the two
now.
outside
Yeah.
guys.
By the way, from the stats and info department, here's the offensive line rule that I was noting. Here's the official rule from the NFL. If a team has a minimum of 8 offensive linemen, primary position being center, offensive guard, or offensive tackle, on the active game day roster, the maximum roster size is 48 players. If you have fewer than 8 offensive linemen, the maximum drops to 47.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that does give you that little wiggle room there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, we'll keep it going with our coach. We got Brian Sexton, who will be on the call tomorrow night. We will get him coming up in about 15, 20 minutes' time, hanging out at Players Grill. You guys come by, hang out, say hello to us. We love the Nooners that have definitely dropped by, and then also make it one of your stops when you get ready to watch all your ball over the course of the football season here, Miramar on Hendricks, or the brand new one's going to be opening up next week at Oakleaf.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
When you pull on that jersey, you represent yourself and your teammates. And a name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back.
1010XL.
Get that through your head. Again.
1010XL.
Mia here, and throughout the month of August, my friends at Small Cakes are giving away a free cupcake to customers with select names each and every day. So if your name is Garrett, Daniela, or Paige, visit one of Small Cakes' locations today and pick out your free cupcake. If that's a friend's name, be sweet and tag them on social media at Small Cakes Jacks, where new names are announced each and every day. Small Cakes Jacks has the best cupcakes, cakes, ice cream, and brownies in town, so go check them out at their Hodges or Northside locations today.
The blockbuster event of the summer is here.
Outrunning a helicopter isn't exactly what I had in mind for my beach getaway.
But this isn't another full-throttle action movie. It's the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event.
Wait, what?
Featuring the action-packed 2023 Nissan Rogue and Nissan Sentra, with sport modes that give the performance of a lifetime.
Stealing my spotlight.
And now comes the real star of the show.
Get 0% APR financing for 36 months on select Rogue trims. Availability is limited, so shop your local Nissan store at nissanusa.com today.
Better hurry. These offers won't get a sequel.
For well-qualified buyers, 0% APR financing for 36 months on new 2023 Rogue excluding S-Trim and dealer stock. Example, 36 months financing at $27.78 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 9/5/23.
The following people are under the influence of no air conditioning.
Oh, man.
Is it ever hot? I can't get up. My legs are stuck to the chair.
Can guys go through menopause?
Why?
I think I'm having a hot flash.
Don't let no AC happen to you. Call Duck Duck Air Conditioning, available 24 hours a day, and they'll fix it right the first time. When your AC system needs a repair, it's time to call Duck Duck Air, 904-862-6769, or online at duckduckac.com. Duck Duck Air Conditioning, a division of Duck Duck Rooter.
When you choose J-Dog Junk Removal, you're not just hiring a junk removal service. You're investing in a company that believes in making a lasting impact on the lives of our veterans and our community. J-Dog is dedicated to giving back to our local veteran organizations. They have donated over $50,000 in materials and services, ensuring that these valuable organizations have the resources they need to support our veterans. J-Dog Junk Removal, veteran-owned, veteran-operated.
TVs everywhere to watch sports, delicious food, drinks, league play nearly every night for billiards and poker, award-winning gumbo. 9-Ball Heaven is the place to be. We're off University Boulevard offering all of this and more. An upscale, non-smoking sports bar and billiards hall. We are the place to watch the game and shoot pool with your friends. 9-Ball Heaven also offers private parties, a private bar, and catering. 9-Ball Heaven, where the players play.
You can't go inside your home team's locker room, so Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline goes there for you.
Work on three, work on three, 1, 2, 3, hard! Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010XL.com.
Brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
You dream it, we build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Gather the family when it's time to retire. Enjoy the warmth of a cozy fire. Now we're cooking in the great outdoors. That's what outdoor kitchens are for. You dream it, we build it. CSS.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Did you know that only 1% of all the diamonds in the world qualify to be a Forevermark diamond? They're the world's most carefully selected diamond and the world's most responsibly sourced diamond. These diamonds benefit the communities they're sourced from. That's why these diamonds carry an invisible Forevermark icon on their table. Most people don't know that Forevermark diamonds are individually cared for from the mine all the way to her finger, and that's where Underwoods fits in. Not everybody can carry Forevermark diamonds, and in fact, all of the companies in the Forevermark network that handle the diamond between the mine and her finger are vetted and carefully selected for their honesty and integrity to also carry that Forevermark icon. Underwoods is proud to be a part of the Forevermark network, and in fact, we were one of the first 5 in the United States invited to join. So come by and see our selection of Forevermark diamonds at Underwoods.
Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Tomorrow's biggest hits don't happen downtown. They're at UNF when the ratified credit union Jacksonville Axemen take on the Santa Rosa Dead Pelicans in USA Rugby League National Championship. Kickoff at 6:30. Tickets start at $10. Kids under 13 free. JacksAx.com.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at Wingstop.com.
Wingstop is here, and we're serving up some serious flavor. Classic wings, boneless wings, tenders, chicken sandwich, we have it all. Download the Wingstop app or order online at wingstop.com from the new Wingstop at 96604 Argyle Forest Boulevard.
Active and pain-free. That's the ticket. Dr. George Barry here, and I know that's the goal of every patient I see. They want the best possible care so they can go back to enjoying life. That could be pick up basketball, golf, tennis, running, or just working out. It all requires you to be as healthy as you can be. If joint pain is taking its toll on your active lifestyle, come see me at Barry Orthopedics. We have locations all over Jacksonville and can diagnose and treat even the most severe joint pain. A homegrown Jacksonville practice. Find out more at BarryOrthopedics.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a big hair, heavy metal Friday on XL Primetime.
So Coach Campo tells me, boys, he only watches non-Jaguars football when it comes to the NFL. If it's a team the Jaguars will be playing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He calls me in a panic this morning because he's trying to get a hold of last night's Colts-Eagles game that he DVR'd.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the NFL Network did one of those condensed games.
Yeah.
So
and he doesn't like that. He
No.
wants it in true form and fashion.
Well, Coach calls me. He goes,
Or the all-22.
He goes, Mia, the Eagles kicked a field goal, and then all I know, Anthony Richardson all of a sudden is on the 18-yard line.
Yeah, I missed the whole series, and I went, what the heck
You
is going on
you
here?
haven't
aggravating.
witnessed the we move ahead further in the action yet?
No.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's what they do
And
all
if
the
you-
time.
By the way,
No.
if you do any game on YouTube, you're going to get ready for that.
Yeah.
By the way, I can't let it go. JJ, that was a killer tune that you played. What was that?
You like that,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, that was awesome.
That was Lynch Mob.
Oh, yeah. That was good, too.
You
I
heavy,
love that.
you heavy metal guys.
I know.
I don't know.
JJ's pumping it out right now because we did get another one. It said Monster Magnet, Space Lord, a one-hit wonder killer tune. So I just want to see which one it was.
Yeah.
But Coach was able to watch a little bit of last night's Colts-Eagles game and scout the Jaguars' Week 1 opponent. So tell us, Coach, what's your biggest takeaway from Anthony Richardson?
Well, who was it? Denny Green that said they are what we
Yeah, they are who we
thought we were.
Yeah.
Well, he is who I thought he was.
Yeah.
And that is not saying that he's not going to be a decent quarterback down the road. But right now he's having trouble reading the mail.
Mm-hmm.
And, but you got to pay attention to him because he's got that Cam Newton size.
Oh, yeah.
And better speed.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got to make sure you don't get him in a situation where he can run.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing that I took out of it. His accuracy is not great, but he has the arm. He can throw it deep.
Okay, but let me just ask you, if you're talking about a 35% conversion rate,
right?
Okay, 6 of 17,
yeah.
And I don't know who's game planning against who right now. It's mainly you're running your guys out there. You're not really game planning right now, are you?
Right.
Just imagine when that defense is game planning.
Yeah, well, first of all, it was a second unit, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't
Twos
their
and
number
threes,
one guys.
Yeah.
So, to me, he's who I thought he would be at this particular time, and we're fortunate to be playing him in the first game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not that we're not going to beat him in the second time we play him, but that first game is going to be really different for him. And the one thing that they've got going for him, though, the Colts, is that their receivers can make plays. So if he can get it close, a Pittman and Pierce has got speed, and he can throw the ball deep. He can throw the ball down the field. So – you have to pay attention to it.
There were overthrows, drop balls.
But to be fair, he takes chances, Coach.
Yeah.
He throws into double coverage all the time.
He did it in college.
Yeah.
The one thing about him, the RPO game should be good for him.
Yeah, he will thrive.
The read option game should be good for him. He's going to carry the ball a certain amount of time. But as I look at him, I think this is the last thing I can say about him. He's the Chicago quarterback,
Justin Fields,
from last year.
But here's what we've said to that. Justin Fields was a much better passer as a collegiate, had an unbelievable year up in Ohio State his last year.
Right.
AR did not have that, and so the bad line forced Justin Fields to take off and do a little more improvising, and AR is definitely going to have to do that.
And that's going to be it's going to be a learning experience for him. There's no question about it.
How about Quentin Nelson with back-to-back penalties last night? I mean, after an abysmal 2022 season, to see that line continuing to struggle. And listen, it's the preseason. Maybe he's knocking the rust off. This is a guy who's a 5-time Pro Bowler. Like, what are we doing here? Is he really regressing? That's what I'm really curious to see. But one more note on AR before we look at some other quarterbacks, other games, and obviously teams the Jaguars will face this year, Coach. You said that when it comes to defending the RPO, defending the read option, the opposition will have to drop into a lot of zone coverage, which, as we've talked about, this Jaguars team's strength is zone coverage. So my question is, why then did they struggle so mightily against the likes of Daniel Jones, against the likes of Chris Streveler or whatever, Tebow Light with the New York Jets, whatever his name was?
Well, there's two types of running. One is quarterback runs, option, however you want to do it. He's going to make a fake and go. Trevor does it on short yardage a lot. He just keeps the ball. That's one kind of running.
It's the same thing we saw in Swamp King.
Scrambling is another type of running. Two different things. So to me, to stop the run game, and that's what Daniel Jones and the kid, who was it that the Jets, right? Where the kid came out and ran the ball.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared discipline-wise, just like you play against a wishbone. You got to play the dive, the quarterback, and if they're running the true option, you got to defend the pitch. Well, the NFL option is either hand it or he keeps it. So you've got to account for the quarterback. Well, in the scramble game, you have to be able to do the same thing. If it's a 3rd and long and you want to make sure he doesn't run the ball, you got to play a spy type defense. You got to put somebody on him. And in that case, in my mind, it would be Lloyd, because Lloyd can probably run pretty close as fast as he can. I don't think quite as fast, but he can run. So either way, you're accounting for the quarterback. If you don't account for the quarterback, that's when you get in trouble with the run game.
Yeah, and you're giving up an extra defender in pass coverage, which you have said there's nothing worse for a D coordinator. It stresses you out.
It is no question that it makes it more difficult, because there's nothing that drives you nuts more than to have everybody covered.
Yeah.
But I would not play, 5 downs of man coverage with him, because if you get your back turned and he gets going,
that's a good point.
The rush can't keep him there all the time. There's lanes where the guy can go.
But like you said, he can stretch a play out, and then your coverage your
that's
rush
another
will break
thing.
down.
Well, that's another thing. He can stretch the play out when he gets on the perimeter, and now you covering a guy one-on-one, you lose him.
Yeah.
So you're banking on just confusing him with combo coverages.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you can take Pittman out of the game. You drop the safety in sometime that gives you one extra defender underneath for the run game and the ability to play zone defense and see what's happening with everything.
We're going to say hello to Brian Sexton at 2:30, but real quick, Coach, because I know you did watch this game live. Steelers, Falcons, PFF now saying that Kenny Pickett this preseason, a perfect passer rating. Yes? I mean, the Jags are going to have to face him week 9.
He was 13 to 15. Yeah. He was spot on.
That's wonderful. Don't base anything on what happens in preseason. That's why the other day I watched Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons on YouTube rather than watching a preseason game.
Yeah.
You know, one of the years we went to the Super Bowl in Dallas, we lost all 5 preseason games and didn't look very good. We just went 13-3 and won a Super Bowl.
Hey, this team's won 2 preseason games. They haven't done that since pre-pandemic. All right,
don't get overly happy about that either. But it does make you feel better when you win.
All right.
So that's probably a plus for Pittsburgh. But don't bank it on what we're going to see.
Simple as that. All right, let's say hello to Brian Sexton coming up here in just a second. He'll have the call tomorrow night as the Jags and the Dolphins will kick it off at 7 o'clock. You'll be able to hear the call right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM with Frank Frangie, Jeff Lageman, and Tony Baselli as well.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL, covering the Jaguars in every day that ends in Y. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 1010XL.
This month, the Key Buick GMC receives special financing on GMC's rates as low as 0.9% for 36 months or 2.9% for 60 months and 4.9% for 72 months. Right now, save up to $10,000 on select new GMCs and no payments for 90 days. As always, a Key Buick GMC, whenever you buy a new vehicle, it always comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. We are professional grade. Key Buick GMC, corner of South Side and Gate.
Come to Monahan Jewelers store-wide 50 to 60% off sale going on now for a very limited time. Everything on display is 50 to 60% off at Monahan Jewelers. We've bought so much brand new jewelry, we need to make room for it. Diamond jewelry, engagement semi-mounts, colored gemstones, even gold chains. Right now, everything on display at Monahan Jewelers is 50 to 60% off. Jewelry's going quick, so come to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Tacos and sports go hand in hand, literally. You can watch the game with a taco in each hand or with a taco in one hand and a tennis racket in the other. Don here from Taco Lou in Jack's Beach. I love sports, and since you're listening to this station, you love sports as well. If you love sports and tacos, then Taco Lou is calling your name. You can watch the game here, call in a to-go order, and watch it at home. Or let us cater your next party. It's Friday, so here's to a weekend full of sports, tacos, and tequila at Taco Lou in Jack's Beach.
Why can't I just speak to an actual human being? I need a new bank.
Well, actually, at One-to-One Financial, communication is not only number one, it's one-to-one. When you call, you get to talk to a real live Jacksonville human, fast and with someone who's truly concerned about your needs, your security, and finding solutions as a team.
Thank you.
Ready to break up with your bank? Find a real long-term banking relationship at One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Visit one-to-onefcu.org for more information on opening an account today.
Federally insured by NCUA.
If you weren't on the radio, I would never radio.
When you hear a great guest on 1010XL, tell your friends they can catch the replay on demand.
It's all at 1010XL.com.
Brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Win cash prizes at UnderdogFantasy.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
When it comes to selling your home, there can be problems, in which case I can give you some promises. Well, Chad and Sandy will. But ultimately, you get the proof. And gang, here's the proof. ChadandSandy.com. That's Chad, A-N-D, Sandy.com. You can also call them at 414-6200. Maybe you think a problem is that you got a growing family or you're working from home. You need more space. you think that because of the way things stand right now, it won't be easy for you. Well, with Chad and Sandy, the agents I recommend, it will be. The U.S. Home Price Index is on the rise. Interest rates are stabilizing. The market's turning more seller-friendly. So if you've been waiting, it might be the best time right now. Chad and Sandy, the only real estate experts that we're sending you to. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price at deadline, or they will buy it. So there's your promise. And here's some proof. Damien in Oakleaf, I needed to sell my townhouse and save money for a new, bigger home. I called Chad and Sandy, and what they say is true. Sold my townhome in 3 days above asking price. Go to chadandsandy.com and get this service for yourself.
What's larger, the Earth's moon or the planet Pluto?
Does your homeowner's insurance company contact you before, during, or after a big storm? If not, then it's time for you to contact Southern Oak Insurance. Find us online at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours, Southern Oak Insurance.
The moon is larger than Pluto, as its radius is over 1,000 miles. Pluto, just 715 miles.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
The 9 after 5 rolls on at the Golf Club of Southampton, so get on the tee with me, Joe C. The XL Primetime League is in the summer stretch, and you need to be part of it. Southampton invites you to join us every Wednesday for our 9 after 5. Beat the heat and blow off a little steam with friends and family at Southampton. A great game every week, good grub afterwards, and prizes. Call 287-PLAY and get in the game every Wednesday. It's our 9 after 5 at Southampton. Call 287-PLAY.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars offensive lineman Ben Barch is back on the field after a season-ending knee injury last October. He was recently activated from the physically unable to perform list and has been a full participant in practice this week. Bart spoke with Mia O'Brien this week about being back on the field with the Jaguars.
It's exciting. You feel like you're free again and you can join your brothers and play football. And it's such a tease being right on the side doing bags and them taking your helmet away. And now I'm able to practice and get to work and help us get better.
Jaguars offensive lineman Ben Barch with Mia O'Brien. Check out the full interview on the 1010XL YouTube page. Jags Dolphins tomorrow night at 7. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line. It's a big hair, heavy metal Friday on XL Primetime.
We say hello to Brian Sexton. He's going to be on the call tomorrow night. He and Bucky Brooks will be up in the booth as we get ready for the Jags and the Dolphins. 7 o'clock kick tomorrow night. Brian, welcome in. How are you, bud?
Hey, Joe, Mia. What's up, guys?
Well, we're doing great now. I know that, we've sat around and talked about guys that we think need to make an impact, and I know you're not going to necessarily be the guy making the roster cuts, but what do you think of going into this?
Joe. Joe, not at all. Not at all.
You might. No, I'm joking, but who do you think needs to have a good game to make sure they're part of the 53?
You know what? And I touted him coming into the summer, but I think that the Caleb Von Chaison's a guy who could be on the bubble. He had a really good spring, and I have watched him. Josh Allen has banged the drum for him. Last week he got right off the line of scrimmage and did what he has routinely done, which is get near the quarterback but not finish that play. And I just think as you look at it, at some point you start to cut bait. You just start to say, hey, maybe we can move this guy for a 5th or a 6th round pick. Maybe there's an opportunity somewhere. I just have this feeling because there were so many eyes on him in year 4 and wanting to create pass rush, that maybe they're willing to move on there. That's a guy that immediately comes to mind. And then, there's some veteran guys on the offensive line, and the injury to Josh Wells. People are like, well, he's just a backup. Well, more than that, with Cam out for 4 weeks, he was the swing tackle. So all of a sudden the pressure's on a guy like Chandler Brewer or Blake Hance. They've got to show that they can do a couple of different things. In today's NFL, unless you're a star, an elite player, you better be able to play 2 or 3 different positions, if you're in the line especially. Defense, 3 technique, 5 technique, 7 technique. You got to be able to do different things. And so I look at the lines and I say, Kayvon Chason is a guy, and then some of those veteran guys on the back end, the offensive line.
So, Brian, just to clarify again, I want to hear this for the people in the back, because I've had a lot of people ask me about this, and they say there's no way in heck that Kayvon Chason will not be on this team in 2023. I saw Demetrius Harvey, our friend from the Florida Times-Union, just tweeted it and said he believes, with Heath Farwell raving about him on special teams, he absolutely is on the team. You believe there is a world where he is not, and in turn, who would be your number 3 pass rusher?
Well, I do believe there's a world in that. He's a guy he's got all the tools, but for whatever reason, it just never materialized in Jacksonville. And there's been a lot of scrutiny on him. And I don't expect to see a lot of him tomorrow night. I think that you're going to see a lot of the younger guys, especially in the second half, as they look to find who that guy would be. Yasir Abdullah is a guy, we've all seen him. He's got natural pass rush. I think he'll be involved in the equation. And I think Kayvon's in a group with, Jordan Smith, who has shown up in each of the first couple of games. And if Jordan Smith and Yasir Abdullah come out and have big nights, well, then perhaps the Jaguars are, willing and able to move on and see if they can't cut bait. Here's the thing, if he comes out and has 6 or 8 sacks this year, first of all, everybody would be stunned. But you're not going to be able to keep him, right? But you can't keep him. This team is coming into a salary cap situation next year where they're going to have to make some really difficult decisions. And there will be players who will be important players this year that this team might have to say goodbye to. That's because you've got a quarterback, you've got a cornerback, and you've got a young pass rusher still in Josh Allen that if he comes up with 12 or 13 sacks, you're going to pay him. So I just think if you look down the line, there's a scenario where Kayvon Chason is moved to another team. Whether that's cut or traded, I don't know. No one has said that to me. It's just that's 30 years of instinct, Mia, talking to people in the building, getting a sense of who they like and who they're really looking at. And again, I came out, I said it on all of our shows in the spring. Hey, Kayvon Chason had an amazing spring. He was dialed in. He was where he was supposed to be. He looked great physically. No injuries that he had been battling in recent years. And Josh Allen said, just watch the guy. And then their pass rush percentages, in their room, the win-loss rate, he's always near the top. But last week when he got there and couldn't finish it, I thought maybe he just can't finish. And maybe this is a guy that they're ready to move on from. So, yes, I do think there's a world in which when decisions are made, if there's an opportunity, perhaps he could be there. I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying he's one of those guys that I would be watching.
So, Brian, you mentioned him, and to me, Jordan Smith is a very intriguing guy. His first year being healthy, he's 6'5", he's long. He's shown in the preseason now that he's got a little bend to him. He can get around tackles. He's athletic. But he's also one of those guys you talked about that this is, you're talking about a guy that will be going into his 4th year after this season. So do you cut bait on him now because it's going to be cheaper with someone else, or do you think you might have something here with him?
Well, I think I see something in him, but there's also a little bit of hesitation on that knee. The last 2 years he's been dealing with it, Matt. And I see the bend, and I wonder whether he's explosive enough. And when I say enough, I mean for the coaches, not for me. From what I've seen, he's a guy that I would want to see if I could get more from. And remember, we all make judgments based on the games that we see, and the coaches make their decisions based on what they see on the practice field also, which most of us don't see during the regular season. And in the classroom, right? And whether a guy can do 3 or 4 different things, whether he's the first guy in or the first guy out or the last guy in or the last guy out, right? So, there's all those things that come into a decision on a player. But if it's me, and again, I was so big on Kayvon, I'm leaning towards Jordan Smith at this point, but I don't know what the coaches think. they're tight-lipped on that spot.
Brian, this is Dave Campo.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Brian. You're around Bucky Brooks a lot, and Bucky obviously knows players pretty well. Has he mentioned anything to you at all about the secondary, about those young corners? Anybody that he likes better than another, or who do you like better than any of the other ones to make the ball club?
Well, and Bucky and I, we had a production meeting yesterday, and we talked about those guys. And there's a lot of belief that Monteric Brown, Dave, and I know you coached secondary and found great players in all your years. There's still a belief that Monteric Brown has a role on this team. But he's got to earn that. I think you're going to see a lot of him, maybe even in the first half tomorrow night, to see where he fits in that equation. I know that Bucky has an affinity for Tavon Campbell, thinks he's a guy with the tools, the measurables, has some experience, not a lot, but is a guy with plenty of upside. And then the guy, of course, that we all are enamored with these days is Gregory Jr. I mean, from Ouachita Baptist in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, right? Here comes this kid that is a year removed from NAIA Division II football with a chance to take the starting job as the nickelback. And Dave, being a Cowboy, I know you know that he's the first drafted player, but not the first player, because the Cowboys have a guy named Cliff Harris, right? Hall of Famer, one of the great safeties, in the 70s from Ouachita. So it's a compelling story, and one that I hope we get to tell tomorrow night. There's another guy, too, Devon Wilson, the young man who transferred from Georgia to Central Florida. He's long. He showed up on the practice field every single day. He was a guy that no matter what you did, you turned, you saw there's 27 making another play. So another guy who should get some time tomorrow night. Bucky, having been a former defensive back, kind of knows what he's looking for, and those are the guys that he's talked the most about.
Yeah, it's awesome. Listen, we look forward to it. You can definitely catch Brian and Bucky in the booth and the coverage tomorrow night as the final preseason game will be played right there at the bank. We appreciate it, bro.
You got it. You guys have a great one. Nice talking to you all.
All right, Brian Sexton. So we get ready to say hello to the other play-by-play guy, which will be Frank Frangie, and the crew as they are out and about as well out here in Duval. We'll tell you where they are coming up next as we sign off from Players Grill.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. From the edge of your radio to the edge of your seat. Showtime! Feel the excitement of live play-by-play.
And this place is rocking right now.
On 1010XL.
Mia here, and my friends over at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned are doing it again. They are fighting inflation and saving you even more. I'm going to call it Arlington's Inflation Fighter Special, because now that pre-owned 2019 Toyota Corolla I told you about, it's not $1,000 down. Nope, it is just $500 down and $288 per month. Or you choose a pre-owned 2020 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma, not $1,000 down. Nope, I am talking just half of that. $500 down and $388 per month. And it doesn't stop there. Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned has over 400 used cars in stock, plus more than 100 vehicles under $18K. And you still get 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it for one that you do. Everyone agrees. Inflation? Bad. But now we can also agree on this. The Inflation Fighter Specials at Arlington Pre-Owned, oh so good. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Whether you're in need of a simple AC repair or it's time to upgrade your HVAC system, Duck Air Conditioning is here to help. Give us a call today to schedule an estimate, 904-862-6769, or online at duckac.com.
Get ready to swing into Flavortown at Fourscore Golf Tavern and tee off your taste buds on our brand new, mouth-watering menu items. Our talented mixologists have created an array of cocktails that will make you feel like you're celebrating a victory on the 18th green. So swing by Fourscore Golf Tavern today and take your taste buds on a golf-inspired culinary journey. We're located in the San Marcos Square. Visit our website at fourscoregolftavern.com for our full menu and special events. Oh, and don't forget to tag us with your favorite picks. Fourscore Golf Tavern.
At Ratify Credit Union, we know that empowered people do powerful things. Big things, crazy things, wonderful things. And that's why we're here, to find ways to say yes, to make banking easy, and to help you make waves. So whatever crazy idea is in the back of your mind, we've got the banking how-to to go with your why not. Banking, lending, savings, empowering. Find it at ratifycu.org. Ratified Credit Union. Make waves. Insured by NCUA.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious? Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
Mia here. Football is back, and so is winning season at MyBookie. Look, if you're anywhere near as fired up as we are this season, you've got to get a bet in on the action. NFL, college football, and a brand new cash-out system. MyBookie gives you options to bet and win all season long. First 2 legs of your parlay hit, cash out early and use the funds on another bet, or let it ride for the chance at a bigger payday. To get started, go to mybookie.ag now and register for an account for free. When you're ready to make your first deposit, just use promo code 1010XL to grab a welcome bonus on the house. You could still even bet on futures like win totals and Super Bowl winners. Maybe even one on the Jags? So sign up with that promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus and, for a limited time, a free chip to use in the MyBookie casino. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Are you looking for increased privacy and protection for your family and pets? Look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Superior Fence and Rail is Jacksonville's top-rated fence company, delivering the highest quality fence products. They'll treat your property as if it's their own. So get off the fence and get your privacy back. Call Superior Fence and Rail today for your on-site estimates.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
At ABBQ, they are turning up the heat this football season like no other. Picture this, 15 massive TVs strategically placed throughout the restaurant so you won't miss a single touchdown. Step into their huge outdoor area where the excitement of the game meets the fresh air. Here's the kicker, and this is a big one for me. They got the sound on blast throughout the restaurant for the whole game. Your destination for mouth-watering barbecue and an unforgettable game day. ABBQ, meet and drink with us.
Hey folks, you know you want shark coatings, and the time is now. So close your eyes and let's imagine your garage. Wait, if you're driving, please don't close your eyes, just wait till you get home. The rest of you see those cracks, the stains? It looks dark, dull, and dreary. It's nothing you're proud of, it's your house junk drawer. Now, see your floor with shark coatings. It's bright, it's durable, it's fresh. Since it's non-porous, it will be so much easier to clean. Don't imagine your garage, driveway, porch, or pool deck this way. Get with shark coatings and have a brand new space with new possibilities.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 2-minute drill. Brought to you by Tire Outlet. Keeping 1010XL rolling with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
You got to love the afternoon. You got AM and FM, all sorts of fun this afternoon. The Frangie Show on the road. Hayes Carline joins us now. Southern Steer, that's where you guys are at, up on Roosevelt. Set it up for us, you embedded and shredded. Hayes Carline.
This place is phenomenal. Yes, Southern Steer Butcher here on Roosevelt. It's my first time in here. I'm blown away. Blown away.
Nice.
Like, there's so many things to see, and it's so delicious. And, yeah, can't wait to do the Frangie Show here today and tell everybody about it, and I can guarantee you in breaks I am going to be spying the steaks, Joe.
Now they're sampling, am I right?
They are, absolutely. So we're certainly looking forward to that, and yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun here. So yeah, come see us and check this great place out, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk obviously tons of Jaguars. Get ready for the game tomorrow night, and we are now 6 days away from the Florida Gators starting the football season. So it's here, and we got a lot to talk about.
Well, real quick, Hayes, what did you think of Shane Matthews saying, Tennessee, hey, they're not that successful coming into the Swamp? By the way, they haven't won in the Swamp. We're talking decades and maybe even a full generation of time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's accurate. I think even Tennessee acknowledges that, look, that place you can't just automatically assume that's a win. I mean, it's Tennessee will probably be favored in the game, but it's not going to be by a ton. and they don't have a great history there. So I guarantee you, if you're a Tennessee fan, you're not just penciling in a W on that one. I think Tennessee's good. I think they're really onto something offensively. But I can understand why people would be somewhat skeptical because of the great talent they lost at quarterback and receiver. It didn't stop them from beating Clemson in the Orange Bowl, but I can see why. The other thing that Shane talked about on it that I do agree with is Tennessee now has everyone's attention. So every defensive coordinator that's going to see Tennessee has studied Tennessee extensively this offseason, whereas I don't really know that they were necessarily doing that before. So the counterpunch is coming, and we'll see if the Vols can withstand it.
All right, love it, Hayes. We appreciate it, bro. Southern Steer, Roosevelt Boulevard, the Francis Show on the FM dial. Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so we'll be listening to them. Rick Ballou will be on AM 1010, so we will have his show on AM, Frank on the FM, and then we've got Gibby High School. The first high school show begins, JOI, with their high school coverage at 6 o'clock, and then Friday Night Lights after. We've got both signals with high school football.
And don't forget Game of the Week as well on your social media, Clay Fleming Island with our boy, E.T. Let's hit those takeaways.
Now, today's takeaways, brought to you by Key Buick GMC, where our family dealership has been helping families buy vehicles for over 50 years.
I got to go with what we just heard from Brian Sexton. It's something that I know when I sat down to make a preliminary 53, I thought there was a chance. Hey, if Kayvon Chaison's not cutting it and you have these young guys you're investing a lot in, why would you keep somebody on the roster who you know won't be here next year? And you just heard it from the guy who's going to call the game tomorrow night. Probably won't play a lot tomorrow, and could the Jags potentially be shopping him?
My takeaway is the beautiful symphony that is college football begins tomorrow. And if you didn't know that college football has arrived, just look at the 1010XL video with Steve Spurrier and Shane Matthews and Dan Hicken talking about the season and Tennessee. And that video now, after my friend in Tennessee retweeted it, is up to 200,000 views because the Vols fans the Gators are so far and deep in Vols' heads right now.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Your takeaway, Coach?
I want to see Tua on the turf tomorrow night.
Yeah. That means not the head, but the
butt.
Right,
I was going to say, I'm not sure I want to see that, but I understand what you're saying.
Exactly,
right.
Exactly. And look, I'm a buyer in Jordan Smith's stock. I'm not necessarily saying you cut Kayvon because he's still, somewhat affordable. But make plays, and Jordan Smith at the very least has flashed a couple times, so that would be my takeaway. We'll see where it goes. Enjoy all of your afternoon into the night, and then, of course, you've got high school ball and the Friday night scoreboard show, Friday Night Lights with Hacker and Gibby. We are out. We say big thanks to Players Grill for hosting us here and Miramar with soon to open their brand new location at Oakleaf. You've got the Francis Show coming up next. We leave you with our Friday anthem, a little We're Not Gonna Take It, and a little Big John. Joe C., Mia O'Brien, Matty Hayes, Coach Campo, Big Surson. Thanks to JJ as we send it back to JJville.
Come on, Joe. That ain't good enough. You gotta snap the blood out my mouth. Let's go, baby. Whoa!
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
I get it. You're here because you feel like something's missing. You got some longing for something more. We're gonna give you that thing.
1010XL, giving you something more.
Did you know the new 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid has an onboard system that charges the battery so you never have to plug it in? When you think Honda, you think quality, value, safety. Now think hybrid. Visit your local Honda dealer and experience the car of tomorrow today.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul